Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time you're looking at this. I hope it's working. I haven't used live stream for a month, and if it's not working, let me know. Hi. Hello, anybody alive there? Oh, hello, I see one person. How are you? Where are you from? If you're hearing me, okay, let me know, because Olivia, Yuna, hi everyone, hi. Haven't seen your names for a while. If it's working, good. You have no idea how much trouble I went through this morning, because I haven't used this for 3-4 months, and my laptop that I used to stream with was M1 Apple, and it had some problem because over the last 3 months when I was in China, I updated it to the current operating system, which is different from when I left. And my capture card, which is the card that you need to plug into your computer for your DSLR camera to send the feed to the computer, and you need one device. It does not directly connect to computer. That thing no longer recognizes the latest OS of Mac Silicon. I tried so many different ways of getting around it. I couldn't do it this morning, so literally half an hour before this live stream, I managed to grab my old PC. It's like a super bad laptop from Lenovo that does nothing apart from streaming because it cannot do any other task. It's so bad, it's still Windows 10. And I haven't switched it on for 2 years. But because it's old enough, it still recognizes the capture card. So now you're looking at me on my old live streaming bad laptop I haven't used for 2 years. Thank heavens it's still working. But my Mac is not working with the capture card now. So I have to figure out after this. Because I'd rather stream from that laptop. It's a lot faster. This one is so slow. I can't do anything on it. And I hope it actually lasts through the whole live stream session and not give up on me. Like, that's how bad it is. I hate this type of thing. When you update something, it no longer works. And nobody tells you. You can't even find anybody online telling you if you run into this problem, what you're gonna do with it. And I'm not a computer science guy. I have no idea how to do this. Stress. But I'm glad I managed to get online finally after October until now. It's lagging. If it's lagging, it probably is not my computer's problem. But my internet right now is fast enough, so I don't know. It's not Mercury retrograde, right? Why? I have no idea. But so glad to see you people. So last time I streamed was October last year, and then I went back to China, and it was impossible to stream in China. Basically, I don't have time where I won't get interrupted. I also don't think I have a strong enough VPN connection to just stream continuously and not breaking off. So that wasn't possible. Yeah, let me see. I can't figure out why though. Because my internet should be fast enough. And this case like it's being old, it shouldn't really affect streams happening. I apologize. I hope it gets better. I mean, given the computer hasn't been turned on in 2 years, current laptop you're looking at from, if it has some weird things, you know, kind of forgivable. I'm surprised that I can actually switch it on, because I was thinking I haven't touched this thing for 2 years. It may just have died silently in the background, right? Okay, so it's been a long time. Today we have, if we want to, okay, we have a lot of things we can talk about because we haven't streamed for months, and a lot of dramas outside of dramas also have happened to this world in general. Entertainment business-wise, film, television series, it's just so much stuff piled up. Even if I tried really hard to do as much as I can when I was back in China, I know there are a lot of dramas I finished watching, had opinion, didn't have time to actually shoot the video and talk about it and edit it and put it out in time. So this is like so behind. But I'm glad that you people are still here. So quickly asking everyone, how are you doing for the last 3-4 months? Anything interesting happening in people's life? Let me know. Quickly type it out. Did you have a good new year? I mean, just like the normal new year, or even like if you celebrate Chinese New Year somewhere in the world. How was it? Lipstick? Really? I mean, don't believe in what you see if you're looking at a video like this, because it probably wouldn't look like this in reality. It goes through compression, goes through lighting, camera, it already changes too much. It doesn't really, you know, end up like that actually in reality, but this is just a super cheap thing you find in a very random makeup store in China. These days in China, there are so many brands of makeup that are all named similarly, all look similarly, all tailored to very young girl market, and they all have the same thing. And I just randomly grab something that costs about 10 Canadian dollars, something like that, because I got really dry lips in winter, so I just grab those like glossy things that doesn't dry your lips out. It's just one of those random things. There's so many, and I don't even remember its name, because if you go back to China now, you'll find so many weird, cheap cosmetic brands that are all named in the same style. It's just the same. So you don't remember actually what you're wearing, because they're all called color key, some this, like their name just completely swappable. So it's just one of those random things you get in China. There's so many. And I think in the last 3 years, explosion of domestic whatever makeup brands, that to the point where I don't recognize 90% of the stuff sold in China now. Lovely. Same thing with EV. If you haven't traveled to China recently, and you have planned, right? Go to China and you're gonna get blown away by EV. Electrical vehicles. So basically electrical battery cars. So many different brands. Again, you wouldn't recognize any of them from anywhere because they're all in China and they all just came out in the last 3 years. And if you just stand randomly on the street and looking at the cars, the percentage of the ones having green plate, which means it's an electric car, versus blue plate, which is the normal gas one, is like the number is pretty impressive. And then the crazy thing about electric cars in China now is they're so cheap and they look so futuristic in design. You randomly come across the super flashy, looking like it comes from like 20 years later car. You don't even know where is the handle to open the door, that type of crazy design, and it has a brand that you don't recognize. And every day, if you go on the street, you'll see 1 or 2, 3 cars that look like, you're like, what is that thing? They just like, huh? That's what it's like in China right now. So if you're a car, like really interested in cars, you should go to China just to see how ridiculous it is right now. You go to big mall, like if you remember the video, I shoot a weekly video in Chongqing where there's a botanic garden in the center of that shopping mall. Literally on the 2nd floor of that shopping mall is there's like a whole section devoted to EV, and there's like 4 or 5 different brands of EV. They just line up that circle, half circle of the mall, and the funny thing is they're all on 2nd floor, and they all have cars on display. So imagine the pain of actually trying to lift that thing up into the mall's not ground floor. So you can't really drive in. You have to get a huge lift to put it in there so that people can randomly shop EV in the mall. Like that's how it works now in China. I'm like, so yeah, every time I go back to China, I get mind blown. you for the hairstyle thing. Name cool. Oh, that's a cool name. The trouble I went through to get this hair. I got my hair cut when I got back November, and then I got a haircut at the end of Chinese New Year in Chongqing, and they messed it up so badly that I had to, before I leave, travel to Shanghai and find another hairdresser who I actually got my hair cut with back in November when I landed. I'm like, save my hair, because that person messed it up and now it looks like weird. So they did something to it, so now it looks like this, which is already the saved version. If it didn't get saved, it will look a lot worse. But now it has this curl thing here because I can't help it. It's like right at this length, it will curl that way. No matter what you do, you can't get it curled that way. Because of how they cut it, you just need to wait till it grow longer. And this also involves a lot of high speed blow dryer. Like normal blow dryer can get my hair look like this now. And a little bit curling stuff happening before this. Otherwise, it wouldn't look like this. It's actually a really failed haircut. This is like the salvaged version. So, what should we be talking about today? Because we have so many things. We will talk about what's ongoing right now, the dramas. Before that, let me quickly talk about a couple of piled up things I didn't get to talk about while I was in China, but I really do want to. I just didn't have time. Some random stuff if people want to talk about that's not related to Dramaland, but just related to what happened in the world ever since November, which is a lot. And current dramas, okay. Minzu University Dance Group. Ooh. South Central China, interesting. Brazil. Yeah, that's cool. So they actually traveled there? They traveled there physically to do the dance? Oh. I'm a bit swollen. I know. Somehow. Oh. I'm still jet lagged because I wake up 3 a.m. every day. I got back March 1st, early morning. It's like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock here, 8 a.m. So it's been close to a week, but I still get jet lagged. I wake up every early morning, like 3 o'clock. And then I stay awake for 2 hours before I fall asleep again, and then wake up again. Still haven't managed to get rid of that. I hate that. Changes of yi and bu. Yeah, it's very annoying. But even if you don't get it right, it does not matter because people would actually understand you. And a lot of people don't really pay attention to that either. And yi and bu often happens. It's like more of a natural thing instead of you force it to happen. Chinese learning person, Aurora. Because when it happens to be linked to certain other characters, it just sounds more natural to pronounce it in the changed form, therefore you do it. Or you just naturally speed it up. Like if you speed it up a lot, you naturally shift the tone because to make it shorter, it has to be changed. Otherwise, it will not speed up. So the fact that if you speed it up, will automatically almost make it change. So you don't have to actually remember it, right? For like as a formula, you just speed yourself up and it kind of lands there, kind of. So, okay, we talk about, let me quickly mention 2 dramas during Chinese New Year. Before Chinese New Year, I watched, I didn't have time. One is the, is it Youku? Yes. Jinnang Miaolu, which previously was called Fengyue Jinnang, which was led by Hu Binqing and Zhai Zilu, Under the Moonlight. I actually finished watching that whole drama. I just never found the time to talk about it. A pity. It is a missed opportunity of that drama. That drama actually, it vibes a very old-fashioned period drama thing that isn't currently done. It really feels like more like a 10 years ago style of drama. Obviously, you have current camera and stuff, but in terms of how they shoot the drama, even camera language, how they design camera, and it vibes very old-fashioned than the current popular idol period dramas. I actually like the vibe, but I think it's a very missed opportunity, that drama. It could have been a lot better. 唐人 is no longer in its heyday. Like that's clear. I feel it's such a missed opportunity, that drama. In terms of storytelling, it could have been better. They could have promoted it better. Even the way it got shot, I think arguably it may not be the most suitable style it went for. I do enjoy, for example, Zhai Zilu, Hu Bingqing, overall, their dynamic, but I think in the department of writing, it could be improved a lot. And particularly when it comes to the cases, when it's a case-breaking drama, but its cases are not that good. And all those cases are very much focused on one area, which is Feng Yue, as its original title suggests. Feng Yue is the type of things to do with relationships, romance, women and men, and anything that with that nature, right? Whether it's a murder case or a kidnapping case or any whatever. Its original title, Feng Yue Jinang, is actually so focused on that. And I guess when they change the title, it becomes less obvious. And also, they should have told people actually early on that this drama is going to be actually focused on a lot of cases that are all like this, so that people come in with the right expectation. If they come in with the expectation of a general case-breaking drama where it's going to be all types of cases, and then they're going to get disappointed because they're going to realize halfway through is like everything is about romance-related murder or whatever. I just find they didn't position themselves correctly enough for people's expectation. I enjoyed parts of that drama, but parts of it I feel, yeah, it's a hard sell. Some parts of it, it's a pity. But I enjoyed most of it. I just think it could have been better. It could have been better. It didn't do much. Yeah, Aurora, good work. Keep it going, and yeah, sometimes just speed it up. It will happen. That mug is not real. Which mug? Did somebody talk about... Oh, my mug in China. My mother bought it. I don't know where she got it. I think it's just a cheap thing that she grabbed from somewhere, and it has that face, right? It's like emoji. So because it's still emoji and it has that vibe that I really like, so I put it like in my video, every video, just trying to make sure it's in the shot. That probably like 5 RMB mug. My mother gets random things. So that's Feng Yue Jinnang, Under the Moonlight, or before Chinese New Year, if you remember. It's a period case-breaking drama with Zhai Zilu and Hu Bingqing. And then Drifting Away, because I said I have a huge problem with it, and I still haven't made the video about it. Because talking about it will make me very angry, and I just feel during Chinese New Year, it's just not good energy to invite. And then obviously I travel, and now I'm here and didn't get time to talk about it. Anybody watch the 14 episodes? iQIYI, just before Chinese New Year, finished airing crime drama, Drifting Away, 漂白. Yeah, it's a real mug. It's tiny. It's like half the size of this one. And then my mother got it. I don't know. Like, she gets really random things at home. I'm like, where did you get that one? Did I enjoy my trip? Yes, but parts of it was painful. I haven't been back in Chongqing in winter for over 13, 14 years. So it's a long time. And previously when I was back in Chongqing, it was always hot. And this is the only cold time, because I avoid going back in Chongqing in winter because I know it's going to be hard. We don't have AC. We don't have heater. And when you have high humidity and below 10 degree weather, it's just not nice. Anyway, so for the entirety of December, I was pretty much sick. Because first I got a cold, at the end of November when I was in Shanghai. So I got back in Chongqing and I spent 20 days being sick. And I ran through every symptoms human being can have with a cold. Everything imaginable, from headache to muscle sore to coughing to sore throat to even got to the point of sinus, whatever titus, like I can't remember the English word. Basically, your sinus here, like not here, this part gets inflamed, and I had like 5 days of permanent punching face. So basically, I feel like somebody is punching my cheeks like that, really hard, 24/7 for 5 days. It's like you have two rocks pressed against your face. You feel that pressure and pain constantly, apart from when you're asleep. When you wake up, it starts to hurt, and it hurt like 5 days. Sinusitis, yeah, that thingy, basically, when you can get. But I didn't have like really bad runny nose. That's one good thing. But then the pain in my face was bad for 5 days. So I was just updating my virus. I don't know, my body's virus information database, and then getting the cold and wet. And it was wet and cold and so wet that I feel my entire hormonal system was messed up. You literally can feel the wetness in your bone. That's how bad it was. So December wasn't good. And then January it starts to, I think I got used to it. So it got better. I got adjusted to that, and then I'm back now in this super dry place again. So like, it's a roller coaster. Oh, somebody is going to China in May. Good time, good time. It's not too hot, it's not cold. It's overall every place is enjoyable. If you're going to China, okay, there are 2 VPN I would recommend you use. They're reliable and fast, and they're cheap. So one is called Let's VPN. You can pay it on with like whatever payment you have, even like the Chinese version, like WeChat, and Alipay. So it looks like this. It's a purple. I have my camera right now is on manual focus. If I pull it in, it will become very blurry. But just look at this one. Okay, this purple blue kind of icon, it says Let's VPN, L and V. So Let's, capitalized L, and then ETS is lowercase, and then VPN or uppercase. This is a very reliable one and very cheap. And then if you want like a backup plan, right next to it I have something called VPN.ac. So you just type in browser VPN.ac. That's its website. This one is also overall reliable, but sometimes it's not as fast as Let's VPN. I use these two. So far, these two are working very, very well. So the VPN.ac is a dark indigo blue, almost not indigo, yeah, indigo, like a very desaturated indigo blue icon, VPN.ac. So that one, and then Let's VPN. If you have these two, I think you're safe in China. It should work pretty well. In case anybody's wondering, you need that. If you're just browsing, you know, like go on Instagram, you're not uploading crazy stuff on YouTube, it's definitely all enough. Thank you for liking the heart. I am so late. I'm a year and a half late for editing that. But I really liked it. So I was like, I still want to do an edit for the 3 people, because I think the drama will get a 2nd season. So that's why I think it's worth doing. Okay, so about iQIYI, 14 episodes drifting away. If you don't know about the drama, I'll sum it up in ways of, this is the most despicable drama in terms of how it depicts the criminals that I've ever seen in Chinese dramaland, plus the fact that the people behind the scene, including the scriptwriter, the overall 爱奇艺 sort of like high management people who are responsible for this specific project, they are just mind-bogglingly, morally, I'm not saying questionable, I think these people are just despicable. They're so disgusting. I don't understand why this type of people can just go around and do things like that, and nobody, like, they don't get any consequences. It seems to be ridiculous. So that's how bad it is for drifting away. 漂白, the one led by 赵今麦, Guo Jingfei. Supposedly Guo Jingfei is the first lead, and Zhao Jingmai, and then Wang Qianyuan, and then the other people. And couple of things. First is this drama's story is based on a real case that happened very late 90s and early 2000s in China. It's a real case based on. And then the adapted drama is based on a novel, which is also written by the same scriptwriter. So this is a woman who wrote the script. Before she wrote the script, she wrote a novel. And she adapted her own novel so that she has full copyright on the novel, so she can basically put that into a drama. And that novel is based on a real case, which is highly, highly suspected, a plagiarized book based on an investigative journalism piece written by a real investigative journalist back then. And that guy spent months and did a lot of very difficult maneuvers and took a lot of risks and spent a lot of time, wrote a huge piece of investigative journalism on this case, because back then when this case was publicized, it was only one page and it says these 4 people did murders of this amount. Now they all get captured and they were all gonna get sentenced. It's just very short, and all the details are not from any official material let out by the policeman. And he found this case interesting, and he is a very good journalist working for this very good publication back then, famous for its investigative journalism. So he spent a whole month going touring China, finding victims, family members, victims, the criminals' family members, case breaking, like related to the actual case, the people who actually investigated the cases, the detectives, found over 100 people he interviewed, and he pieced together all the details of this case, and he wrote this piece of journalism and published that. And technically, a published investigative journalism of that size is copyrighted naturally. You don't have to do anything. It already is copyrighted material as it goes out. So the writer who did the drama, who wrote a book and adapted that from her own book, is very likely a person who read that piece of investigative journalism and basically copied all the details and into her book. And one thing that can prove that is everything beyond this investigative journalism piece related to the case did not exist in the drama. Every detail this drama has comes from that investigative piece of journalism. Even certain mistakes this journalist made in his report, because he is not a perfect, person who knows everything. When it comes to hospital, for example, how hospital would categorize a patient, the actual correct word, he used the wrong one in that piece of journalism. Guess what? That exact word got used in the book and then in the drama, which is wrong. If you actually went to interview a doctor, the doctor will give you the right word, but the drama had the wrong word, which means the drama is based on the book, which the book is based on the wrong journalism. Things you can find out about this. So the drama came out. This journalist, who has already quit journalism for years, came out and wrote a very long piece of 2 pieces, I think, and basically accusing this writer and say, I can take you to court. If we eventually do that, you're gonna lose, and I have all the proofs to prove that. And I don't know how far this has gone, whether they actually are going to go to the court or not, but that was one part of this drama. On the creative side of, how it just doesn't care about copyright, which is common in China. unfortunately. But that's just the smallest problems it has. Very soon people start to realize there are a lot of problems within the drama itself. For example, how it, in its visual form, glorifies crime, glorifies criminals, trying to find excuses for the things they do. And if you watch the drama, you know how brutal these people are. And realistically, that was the case in real life. These 4 people who band together and murdered over 10 people, kidnap and then torture and then murder and then dismember bodies with literally meat grinder and flush it down toilet in apartment buildings. That's how it got found out. It was just like, and the worst part was there were 2 survivors from their crimes who ran away, right? Got captured and ran away. And these 2 women are still alive today. And they've been mutilated to the point that even to now, they're still suffering from the injuries after over 10 years. And one of them, I think, permanently lost reproductive ability due to the torture they went through. And you don't want to know the details of what actually happened to them. And just imagine this drama comes out and it glorifies in its language of those 4 people. And it literally goes to detail, making up stories about these people, which is not real at all, about why they ended up being who they are, what happened to them in the past. Like, it's trying to find an excuse for every one of them, why they turned out to be this bad. And I'm like, who cares? Who cares? Right? If you can get to the point where you would do the things that they actually did in reality to strangers, innocent people, just to get money. They did it for money. They didn't do it for anything, just for money. Who cares what's your reason? Right? You're monsters. You should just get rid of. You know, the society would be a much better place if it doesn't have you people around. And it's just funny that for drama, like, I don't know what angle it wants to pick. It picks this angle. It's baffling, basically. And and if you watch the drama, you'll know what I mean. Like, it glorifies them so much. Slow motion, low angle, hero's shot, 4 people walking in the line and they just killed people and ran away. They're so cool. Like, you have so many shots like that in the drama, and unbelievable. Even till the last episode, they're still flashing back to these 4 people's past and trying to explain why all of them turn out to be this bad. And it's just... And to make it worse, during the airing of this drama, when they actually got a little bit traction and got popular, how they promoted this drama online, right, is also despicable. So the 4 people, 3 guys and 1 woman, who in reality were the criminals, now played by Wang Qianyuan, Ren Zhong, and the other guy, and an actress called Wang Jia something. Like, they're very good actors, I have to say, like, very good actors. But how they promoted it was absolutely disgusting. They hashtagged themselves as Meat Processing Factory F4. You know F4, what F4 stands in Asia, because of the Meteor Garden, the Japanese manga, the Flower Boy, right? So F4 is very well known to every Asian person. And they hashtagged this crime group and promoted it on TikTok everywhere and looking cool as Meat Processing Factory F4. And the meat processing is basically killing women and cut them up in pieces and put them in meat grinders, turn them into mince, and flush them down toilet. And it's not just the actors themselves would use the hashtag. The drama would use the hashtag. And the actress, the lady in the 4 crime group group people, she tortures her victims with a metal, like a spatula, so for cooking. So 锅铲, right? And she literally tagged herself as 锅铲姐. So Sister 锅铲, and she uses that as like her cool tag, and she promotes herself like that on internet. And wait, this is not even the worst, right? I'm telling you, this is so bad, is beyond that point. Later, people found out. For this scriptwriter who stole the journalism piece, wrote the book so that she can adapt it herself into a script version. She, in her work, swapped people's names with God knows what intention. For example, Guo Jingfei plays a policeman in the drama, and his nickname by his colleagues is 二哥, which is second brother. In reality, 二哥 is the nickname of one of the 4 criminals in reality. And then one of them is called 二哥 by his friends. And it's well known, it's in the investigative journalism thing. Then, victim character played by Zhao Jinmai. Her name in drama is Zhen Zhen. Her father's name in drama is Zhen Yuliang when it first aired. Okay, I have to say first aired. And Yuliang is a normal but not so common name. Let's say it's not like John Smith in English, right? You're not gonna run into that many Yuliang randomly. And in reality, there's one person among the 4 criminal groups. His name is Zhang Yuliang. So Zhang is a different surname, but Yuliang, given name, is the same. So the writer gave the victim character's father the name of the real criminal. Why? Why would you do that? Can you give me a reasonable reason for anybody doing that? For what purpose? It's a fictional creation. You can literally name this person anything. Why would you want to do that? And people found that out, and internet was like, as you can imagine, immediately there are so many posts and just like people complaining about and wanting this drama to get taken down. Guess what happened? After this thing got discovered, a couple of days later, you go back to iQIYI, you click into the drama, you find out at the end credits, the character name previously was written down as Zhen Yuliang as Zhao Jinmai's father. They changed the name. Zhen is still Zhen, but Yuliang gets changed into 2 characters that sound similar to Yuliang. So they can dub that word in the earlier episode or just like smudge it over so that people think it's 2 other characters. So apparently, the creatives of this drama knows this is happening and people are complaining about it. And what did they do? They went back and changed the end credits of the name. But because the first version, when it got aired, is still the version, and internet has, pirated copies. So if you go on pirated website, which takes down the episodes as soon as they come out, you still see the first version of the name. That's actually the criminal's name. Now it's a different one. This is what this drama has been doing. And then Chinese New Year comes around and people are focused on Chinese New Year, and you have哪吒took all the attention away. After Chinese New Year, there's a leaked video. Who knows who leaked it online? Which is during the filming of this drama, the body double for Zhao Jinmai, when she escaped from those people, there's a whole sequence of her getting out of the building, and then she's running away, and they're chasing her with a car, if you remember that part, and then eventually she gets saved by Guo Jingfei. There's this shot where she's in foreground and the car is like in background quite far away, and to do that shot they had a body double lying on the road and having the car run by her, and the car literally hit the actress, like ran over her arm, I think. And because somebody else was like shooting whatever footage, and they took, like, they captured that, and it got leaked on internet, and it I think people just hate this drama, so they're trying to put more things that's not in favor of this drama. And you can hear the actress, the body double, scream so badly because the car literally ran over her arm and her head. It's like touching her head, and it went just over her arm and her head. I mean, this is not directly related to the fact that this drama is pathetic and disgusting, but I don't know who leaked it online. I think that there are people who really hate this drama. but it didn't get punished. This drama didn't get taken down, and it seems people have forgotten because Chinese New Year came around, so that they put out an extra thing trying to sink this drama, which I'm actually thinking it's fair. Unfortunately, it still didn't sink the drama, but I don't know. I don't even want to necessarily put this into a video, because I find if I put it in an individual video and talk about it, it's just so disgusting. It's just gonna make Chinese people look so bad on the global stage. If you randomly come across the drama like that, you're gonna question, like, what is going on with Chinese people? It's just so beyond reason and understanding that I'm literally completely baffled about everything about this project. Not to mention, when it hits like I think it was 9,800, like within iQIYI's own calculation of how hard it is, it has a number. It was when the plagiarism thing came out and people are talking about it online. And there is this private chat between the higher management within iQIYI who is responsible for this project and some other people within their WeChat and 朋友圈 friend circle that got screenshot, whoever leaked it online again. And this person was talking to another person, and the other person mentioned the drama is doing really well, but somebody is talking about the plagiarism thing, and maybe you should do something about it, basically. And the manager was like replying, cool, let them talk about it even more, because that's gonna add more heat. And tomorrow it's gonna go over 10,000. Apparently, I think it goes over 10,000. This project group on this drama will get some kind of reward or something. They can open champagne. This is like their attitude towards the whole thing. It's like as much as publicity as, you know, like as possible, and the more the merrier. And whether it's good or bad, or whether it's done in such a questionable way, it does not matter. They literally are celebrating the fact that the drama did well. And obviously the next day it did go over 10,000. And then in their friend circle, it got screenshot that this person is basically showing an opening champagne emoji. You know, this is what makes me go, this is the time when I actually hope the platform dies instantly. It's like, iQIYI, maybe it's time for you to go bankrupt, really. Erase you from existence will do a better favor for everybody on this planet. And as for the people you employ, I mean, they go and find other jobs elsewhere, but probably they get less karma. I'm speechless. This is the worst and most despicable production in terms of like everything, right? Consider how it plagiarizes, how it disrespects real victims of horrible crimes, how it manipulates reality. What it's trying to do? Like, what are you trying to do glorifying these horrible people? I can't find a reasonable explanation for people doing that. I think they're just sick. They're probably psychos too. And this type of thing should not get made. And somehow it gets through censorship. You know, this, That's why I said this is the worst I've seen yet, right? To come to Chinese drama land ever since I started my channel back in 2017. I mean, the most crime I've seen previously was just being stupid, right? You have like despicably stupid dramas of like things you see in First Frost, for example. We can talk about that later. But this drama, what it did was so evil. It's evil intention that it's on its own. It belongs to its own class, okay, of completely confusing and baffling people about why you would do that. And if you didn't know, now you do, right? Make up your own mind about how you should be thinking about this project. I feel honestly terrible for everybody who got involved in this drama. Luckily, it didn't really do anything bad for example, to Guo Jingfei or Zhao Jingmai, because they're playing the characters who are the good characters, and there's no way to promote them in those weird ways. But in terms of Wang Qianyuan, Ren Zhong, and the other two actors who play the criminals, it's definitely going to affect them negatively. Like you have to be careful about picking roles, and I just find them being so insensitive. Because if you are during the shoot, right, you know how your character gets shot and then gets told, and at some point you should question why it gets done like that. Because I find them not being clever or sensitive enough about this situation. Because as you see in the end product, there was way too much glorifying of the bad people. And if you're sensitive enough, right, you get involved in this type of project, it's very reasonable for you to question the director or the producer, like why this is happening. You should argue, and if you find something is wrong, right, you should really be careful with that. And they're all adults, and they're good actors. They've been around for years. I find them, the fact that they are completely unaware of that is just, let's say, gonna impact my opinions about them as people, and it's gonna be hard for me to watch their future works and not feeling icky. It's very icky. And not to mention, during the promotion, Wang Qianyuan, the woman actress, the Ren Zhong, all those people actually promoted this drama in a way that's like in line with how the platform is doing it, making them look cool. I guess like if you're going with that, then you have to take the consequences. And not to mention, the drama actually made all the policemen look like morons. Like the car chase, if you watch the early part car chasing scene where the two policemen are in the car chasing the bad guy driving a truck on a snowy road, if you watch that episode, tell me you're not shocked about how stupid the policemen are. And it's just, I think it's intentional to make the police look completely incapable and stupid. Why? Yeah, now I question why, for example, the script writer would do that. Let's conspiracy theory the whole thing, right? They probably hate China, hate Chinese government, trying to make it look bad. Because it does not make logical sense for professional policemen to do the things they do in the drama, and it never happens in reality. These policemen who actually broke this case, they chased this case for a decade. It got broke by an accident. Yes, they caught somebody who was accidentally doing something else, and then it kind of linked to this thing. But it's because they didn't give up for 10 years, and they were looking everywhere. Therefore, that thing actually got noticed. Otherwise, it's not gonna... And it never happened in reality where it ended up being the case, like in the drama, that Guo Jingfei is the only policeman who cares about it. And his superiors are like, we give up on this case, you should give up, you should go do other things. Never happened. In reality, all those policemen were like following this case because this is an epic, big murder case of over 10 victims. And all the bad people are still on the run. And this is like the worst case for that place for decades. And so it's like on everybody's head that they have to break this case. So there's no... Like, at no point during the actual investigation that anybody was talked down and say, give up on it. No, it's like everyone is like, we want to break it tomorrow. So, you know, like all these things add together. I'm just saying, Aiqi is, 屁股太歪了, okay? Its ass is really sitting on the wrong side of things. And I would not be surprised that when the doomsday come to it, everybody would be doing this on the side. At some point, you're gonna be like, it's better for humanity that you disappear. See, Vanguard AA71. I'm telling you, the world is mysterious. Therefore, like everybody who thinks China is homogenous, and when government says one line and everybody follows, you're so mistaken. Because within the whole, even like entertainment business systems, there are circles. There are people who have power who are on this side of things, and people who have power on that side of things, and everyone is like, there's the power play constantly. And it never is like just like don't even think that it's gonna work like that. One person says it and then it decides everything. Oh no. Just imagine politics, right? You have like different groups who are fighting for power. Same thing happens in entertainment as well. Like you question this type of thing, how did it pass censorship, right? It did. And then there are other things that are looking completely harmless and couldn't go through. You wonder why. It tells you that a lot of things are done by specific person, and they all have different motivations. And it's never so. Imagine in China is this Western media painted in this like homogenous one mind Big Brother society. It's just so mistaken, so far away from reality. Even within just one bureau of a tiny local town of whatever, whether it's like state grid power plant, or it's city planning, or it's education board, you're gonna have so much drama, politics going on in there, and everybody has their own agenda. Like you think it's gonna be just one thing. It's like, this is like one example is, yeah, it does not make sense that this kind of thing passed censorship, but it did. And why, you wonder, hey? So, drifting away. Most disgusting drama I've seen ever, I'd say, in Chinese dramaland, considering what it has done. And it's a shame that it exists, and it pains me to see it exists. And maybe that's why I keep not wanting to make a video on it. Because once it's a video, it's searchable. Like live stream, if I don't tag it, nobody knows what I'm talking about in this live stream, and nobody's gonna really notice this. But I feel like if I actually make it into an individual video, right, and then it becomes searchable, so it becomes a lot more easy for people to find it, and then you're gonna, like, people who've never come across this thing is gonna see it and say, Chinese people are just so odd and evil. It's just so bad for publicity. Adam, about my shop. Yeah, I do want to open it probably next week because I have a lot of things I need to do before that, and I need to restructure things. Because right now my shop is running at, let's say, first is the things that I used to have, right? It's just becoming harder and harder to ship them because of Canada Post. A lot of things happening to it, and Canada is so bad for e-commerce. You basically can't ship anything from Winnipeg. So it no longer makes sense for me to do anything beyond completely flat items, which would be like postcards. Even stickers is like complicated because stickers need paper, and I have to get paper from the States, and the papers are so expensive, at the same time so unreliable. It's like sometimes they have, sometimes they don't, sometimes this runs out, sometimes not, and I have to do like 10 types of different papers for the stickers, and I'm like, too much work, I can't do this. My brain is like not enough space. So I may phase out certain things in my shop. I may start to rearrange what gets done on what. So my personal website may still hosting, like, let's say if I do digital stuff and flat stuff that I had, but maybe minus stickers, and then I can redesign my Redbubble because I haven't touched Redbubble for years. I'm so lazy. I need to rethink how I do that. And then coffee, and it's just a lot of moving things around, just for the reality of it, because it's just too not worth the time and effort to do certain things in my shop if I'm in Canada. I can't ship it anywhere. Love this place. Internet bill, phone bill, and any type of courier service in Canada is pain in the ass. Okay. So drifting away is shipping. Drifting away is this. Now you know. Make up your own mind about it. I'm very disappointed, and I feel really ashamed as a Chinese person. Unbelievable. So these are two dramas I think before Chinese New Year that I watched but didn't get time to talk about. Once we get into Chinese New Year, it's all Naja and fair enough. Now I think it's at like it's like 14.34 billion RMB, something like that. It's projecting to end basically at 14.8 right now RMB in China. Let's say like it's probably just like rounded up to 15 billion RMB, which divide by 7 would be more than 20. What? 22? Something like that. Like I don't know, like 2.2 or 3 USD on a single movie. Now it's not single market now because it does get screened outside of China, but pretty much negligible amount of box office compared to China. I think eventually globally it may pull in another extra 100 million or 2 RMB for this movie, which would be nothing compared to its 14.78 already, like like domestic box office. For people asking filter and first frost, I'll do it later, okay, in time, because I'm just doing it chronologically. That's that movie currently, and mind blown. I don't think anybody saw it coming, so it goes to the 玄学 zone. After because I was watching how it kind of evolved and how the whole thing worked. I think from my perspective, this is how I would interpret why it did so well. A third of its success comes from the fact that it's a high quality animation overall. You can't argue that. Storytelling wise, it's engaging. It may not be the best narrative out there. I still think, for example, Wall-E in animation world would be the top notch story writing quality, and also technicality wise well made, completely original script. In that comparison, Naja's storytelling is not yet up there. There's a lot of room for improvement. We can go into details if people want to hear about my actually cold-hearted opinion on the storytelling quality of Naja. But overall, it is an enjoyable movie. It's deserving of what it gets. Now, maybe more, but those are actually caused by things outside of its control. So, first third of its success comes from the fact that it's a high-quality animation. And it, Chinese New Year, good time for film release. Second part, I think it comes from a combination of, from the audience's perspective in China, cinema goers, 2024 was so bad. No good movie came out that year. People are starved for an excuse to just buy one ticket in the cinema. And Chinese New Year is already naturally a time you want to spend a little bit more money than usual. And there are so many crappy movies that has came out in 2024, even among the other couple of movies that are out at the same time during Chinese New Year in cinema. Therefore, in comparison, Naja 2 just becomes so much more better, right? You kind of derive at a conclusion by comparing, because everybody is so bad. 全靠同行衬托. Remember 温客行? Word of honor, classic line. Always use his line. 全靠同行衬托. First is you have overcompensation coming from audiences who hate bad movies for too long. So they overcompensate. They find one animation movie that's done with so much hard work, good attitude. That's kind of, we are storytellers, we serve you, you are customers, so we do things that make you happy. Like, we work hard to make you happy and feel your money is well spent. Literally, they can sense from the movie that this is done by a group of people who are not trying to cheat, okay, and like all the crappy movies we've seen in recent years. So there's a element of overcompensating, and the more the bad movies and the bad movie directors complain about audiences not being good and not paying money and giving up on cinemas and no longer wanting to watch movies, only wanting to watch short videos, and put the blame of their poor performance on the actual cinema goers, on the public. The more they do this, the more people overcompensate by buying extra tickets on Naja to see it twice, third times, just to piss the other people off. Like, this is the psychological thing. I mean, it does get played into the promotion later, and I do think people intentionally did it because they just 看热闹不嫌事大, which is if you're watching drama unfolding in front of you, you'd rather it being epic than boring, right? So it's the snowball, it's the bonfire situation. Once it starts burning, it's just not gonna stop, and people are just gonna want it to get bigger and bigger. So one huge part of that, in the second third of its success, is people overcompensating, hating bad movies, therefore want to supporting this one, and that plays into the whole psychological thing of it. Another part of this third of the success of the drama, I think, comes from perfect timing, which you cannot predict, and it's just blind luck for this film. If it released 1 year earlier or 1 year later, it's not gonna end up like this, okay? It just happens to hit the perfect time. What I mean by from last year, August, you have Black Myth Wukong coming out. That already started a trend that people kind of see, whether it's Chinese game or culture or whatever, starting to get noticed globally. Then towards the end of the year, you have DeepSeek getting released, although it's the first model that nobody really talk about. And later it was January the 20th, interesting time, that they released R1, the language model. But December was already the first version getting released and getting noticed in public, like globally, by the AI industry. Then at the end of the year last year, I don't know if you guys know about this, but China, in about a week, released supersonic missiles and 6th-gen jets, and just like randomly fly them crossing big cities so that people can film them, like for fun. So there's this whole military whatever, like Air Force thing going on that is like the stage of China getting, basically showing its muscle power. Right over Chinese, come across 2025 January, first couple of days, you have TikTok problems, you have Xiaohongshu happening, and suddenly the internet gets like this huge dosage of weird things, right? Nobody could see coming. I don't know, you call it what, black swan or like gray rhino, whatever, but it happened like crazy. And then DeepSeek got officially released, and then it's Chinese New Year. So it's like so many weird things are happening at the same time that it kind of just happened to hit this spot where within China, people are just having a ride, a wild ride of like, oh my god, I didn't see that coming. I guess like now it makes sense. So this movie happened, and it has this theme that you don't even need to interpret that, you just see it pretty plainly in your face, like I said in my video. Therefore, people are just having too much fun. Like this energy just kind of like boom, give you the perfect timing of release. So the second part, I think, of the success of the movie is because of these two major parts. One is general cinema goers' revenge on bad movies and directors, and then the second part is just everything timed to that point that happens outside of the movie, completely unrelated to itself, but somehow thematically it's the same. Odd, I know, but that is not up to the filmmaker to decide. It just happened, okay, outside of their control. Last third of why it got this big, in my opinion, it's beyond three-dimensional. Okay, that's how I would put it. I can't find the specific term for it, but I think in 10 years, 20 years, 50 years time, you look back, you'll see it a lot clearer. because I'm pretty sure back like in the future we're gonna be very different in everything, like in every sense, as a species. Therefore, things will become a lot clearer and why it's happening. I think there is definitely things beyond visible that is pushing this movie for its whatever purpose in the development of human history. Let's just put it that way. And I'm not psychic, so I can't see it myself, but oh, there are so many psychics on internet who are talking about why this movie has happened in this way, and it has certain level of energy that gets like show. Basically, three-dimensional world is the not reflection, but it's more like the shadow of the higher dimensions. So something is going on in higher dimensions as well. Therefore, its shadow is showing certain unusual activities, and this movie has certain energy that's like being backed up or by power beyond our obvious three-dimensional world view, and those are in the world of 玄学. Okay, but it definitely 玄学 because think about the characters in this movie. They are based on mythology, and those mythological characters probably have origins. Now, what we believe them being in our human myth may be very different from what they actually are, okay? But does not mean they don't know. The version we have is them. So whether they do something about it, I don't know. But it's all gods, it's all immortals, it's all like beings with like unlimited power getting like screen time. So maybe they are having a lot of fun too. I'm just saying, I mean, if I am the Dragon King, the Long King, for example, in the Eastern Ocean, I'd be having a lot of fun watching how humans like design me. And making me look so cool. The father of Aobing, right? He's got so many 颜粉 now. So many people fangirl the giant white dragon. So that's another third of the thing, I think. But that is, you believe it or not, does not matter. But I think the first two reasons are probably very solid in terms of its own quality, audiences, and the timing of everything that's going on in the world. So, realistically, even in 5 years' time, if we're gonna get the third movie, it's gonna be very unlikely that it will do as well as this one. It's like 99% possibility is it's not gonna do as well as this one. If it repeats its own success, it would be unthinkable. Honestly, I think it will be unthinkable. I don't think things can happen in this world yet in that way. So, Nausea 2 is a very special thing. It's because it just happened in such an unusual sort of like way that it will never be copied. You can't repeat its success. It's all the element, synergetic result of all the things lined up, and that is, you can force it manually. Well, Hollywood is still fun, like it still produces interesting work here and there, but if you're saying whether it has the dominance as it used to be, probably not anymore. And you can see how irrelevant Oscar has gradually become over the last couple of years. I mean, honestly, this year, who cares about what goes on in Oscar? All the movies get nominated and all that. It's like, okay, I guess that. So now that gets Oscar. Cool. What's next? Hollywood had its good times, but I think now it has so many problems itself. Like, no other people making it bad for them. It's like they literally screw it up so badly themselves. So to climb out the hole that they dug for themselves is gonna take a while, if ever. Yeah, Captain America 4, huh? I literally gave up on Marvel after Infinity War. I think I watched the first season of Loki, and that's like after Infinity War, and that's the only thing I've watched. I didn't even bother to watch second season, even though I like Tom Hiddleston. I can't bring myself to watch it because I don't like it anymore. It's just so meh. Marvel has become so meh. Yeah, Hollywood is this year Oscar particularly is just so boring. I didn't even like realize it was ongoing because I just came back and I was jet lagged and it was second day when I came back, like Sunday evening. I was trying to stay up till the normal hours or go to sleep so I can jet lag, like cancel the effect of jet lag, and that was time actually. Like the ceremony is starting, I think. Of Oscar. I didn't even realize that. I didn't realize it's ongoing until next morning. I wake up and people are like posting on social media which movie got like best picture and stuff. I'm like, okay. Oh yeah, last night was Oscar. Holy shit! Like that's how irrelevant it has become. And then Marvel is completely just like not something that I would pay attention anymore to at all. I'm not saying Chinese movie, right, from now on is gonna be great. No, okay? You know who I am, right? I've been doing drama reviews and stuff of Chinese stuff for years. I know exactly how crappy still overall dramas and films are in China. Naja is anomaly. It's very anomaly, and it's very, very because the person who is doing it himself, like this guy, is relentless. It's like the guy who's doing Black Myth Wukong, because that person or that group of people just wouldn't give up. Okay, they were so relentless that they made it happen, and they're all outsiders of the industry. Honestly speaking, whether it's the Wandering Earth movie maker Guo Fan or Jiaozi from Naja too, they're actually both outside of the circle of Chinese cinema. They don't belong to the traditional old school, established old money of this business. They are completely from outside. They don't even come from cinema background or academy of film. One of them like studied in law school. The other was in a pharmacy stuff. Like they completely don't. And then the guy who did Black Myth Wukong, he was in what, bio, chem, whatever. You know, so it's like completely outside of the industry people who happen to be, I guess, clever. 这个9年义务教育 properly STEM subjected, educated, clever people, like kicking all these so-called Academy of Movie people off their podium. So their anomaly, it does not represent the overall quality or how things get done in China, which means still a lot of crappy stuff are gonna come. And we're gonna talk about them now, okay? So, Naja is its own thing. Don't think it represents the overall quality, the sudden, no, it's not gonna happen. We're probably gonna take about another 2 decades. Shortest, I'm thinking, like the shortest time frame, another 20 years for the whole content creation industry in China to get to a standard that to me is like, I would say good. I wouldn't even say great. I would say good now. And that's the shortest time frame. Right now it's don't like I don't even want to tell people that I'm Chinese, because if they're watching this Chinese movie, I'm like, so embarrassing. So embarrassing. We're polluting the world again. That's how realistically I'm gonna put it. So although I watched Naja 3 times, I am by no means, right, the person who's like, from now China is gonna dominate the world. Come on, let's be realistic. Not even close, okay? And if anybody want to hear me, like I may make a video talking about what I think Naja has problems as a movie, as an animation, as storytelling particularly. Like I can pick out so many things. I'm like, they have so many shortcuts. They have so many lazy moves. They have so much. They're very antsy in the movie. a little bit like Black Myth Wukong, because they're worried about not giving enough, or not impressing people enough, and not having a second chance, because there's a very big element of trying too hard. But you probably cannot help it, because they're not really at the point where they can relax and be really confident in their craft. So it's at that stage. But also just a lot of storytelling, pacing problems, or how you tell jokes, how you work characters into the story in a more absolutely natural, within reason but unexpected way. That, like, those very high tech level of writing still is very lacking in movies like哪吒 2. If you want to, like, go into details, then it's that is in the writing room, it needs to be fixed. But I don't complain about it. I don't think it's actually reasonable to expect it to be that good at this point yet. If it happened, it would be actually not making sense for it to happen. It's actually very, very expected that the story from the first movie, right, in the second movie, it develops into this way, and also, like, improves into this way, but it still lacks in certain departments. That always is its weakness. It's just less weak now, but still you can see, like, that needs a lot of work. So for the third movie, technicality-wise, I don't think they need any significant leap from now, because there's a limit of how far, special effect goes. It's like they already are top notch, like the best of the best in the world. So that room of improvement will give them very little benefit. I think the biggest problem and challenge and the possibility for improvement for the third movie, if they do it, which I think they will, would be storytelling itself, the script, the writing, the quality, down to every detail. How you edit it together, how you pace it, how you work with music, the lines, right? The delivery, how you write better dialogues, how you create more finely tweaked and fleshy and relatable characters. All those things will be the hardest part for them to do, but will give them the most amount of improvement for the third movie. Now it's just whether they can write that good a story. That's always the hardest part. Somehow people just think getting better camera, more money and budget, and more face of stars is gonna make it work. No, it's always the story. And the hardest part is actually getting the writing. So if I have time, I'll make a video talking about the problems I have with the narrative of the哪吒movies, first one, second one, that could be done better, right? If you rank, or if you put it up against the best narrative stories we have in this world in animation form, it still has a lot of room for improvement. Yeah, 外包. So let's talk about currently ongoing Chinese dramas, okay? There are two that just finished, which is Kill My Sin, which, yeah, somebody just on Youku that I didn't finish watching. The other, 仙台有树. So 仙台有树, Love of Divine Tree, I've heard overall actually a medium to, like, level of acceptance from my drama watching friends. And they would say actually the story gets completed quite well, and it has its own spin on the old trope of teacher and student, which is not completely, let's say, template following and soulless, right? I see that. I think it's reasonable, because I've had a friend who's run through the whole drama, and this is the review they would give, which is it's actually not as bad as probably people would think it is, but then it's reasonable that it didn't get super big. To me, I didn't want to spend 40 episodes time watching it. I think honestly because even if the story is not bad and it actually completes itself quite well, I don't have reasons to convince myself to watch these two actors play this thing through for 40 episodes. They don't talk to me. Like, their performance don't talk to me. And it's just what it is. And I can't get into their acting and their performance of their characters. So even if, say, on paper, if the story actually worked out okay, I don't have 40 episodes time to watch performances that I would constantly feel, why am I watching it? I'd rather do something else. That's my biggest problem is 像韩志and Deng Wei, I would rather watch something else. I would rather rewatch Sherlock. Although I can remember the whole drama from like top to bottom now. But that's my problem. I don't think it's bad, 仙台有术, but these days for the genre of fantasy idol to explode, you need to do so much more than what they've done in that drama. Okay? You have to give people something. Either it's so beyond their expectation of being, they think it's this level, but it's that level, or it's something completely new that they didn't expect. Otherwise, it's just going to be within their fandom. People are like, oh, we like it. But you try to sell it to other people, and people are like, why would I want to bother 40 episodes of time to watch it? I think that's the biggest problem of that. 仙台有术 Divine Tree. It probably is not bad, but I don't have all the time to watch it. And 像韩志 and Deng Wei, just neither of them, like if a male lead and a female lead, one of them works on me, I can still watch the drama. But if neither of them works on me, it's like, how am I supposed to stay on? It doesn't stick, all right? It doesn't stick to me. As for Kill My Sin, like I said, I don't think it's the right way to tell that story. They set it up really poorly so that most people lost their interest and patience early on. And is there any Liu Shishi fan out there watching my live stream? I'm waiting for people to reply. But you probably wouldn't tell me even if you are, right? You just want to hear me rant. She, as she ages, she's done so much to her face, now she can't open her eyes. She's like this. Most of the time, that's like how she makes me feel. It's like I'm on the brink of falling asleep, but just barely staying awake. I mean, she needs to sort out the fact that she looks like she's about to fall asleep 90% of the time during the drama. And that's like just how normally other humans looking at her face would interpret her expression. Whether she actually is about to fall asleep does not matter. It looks like she is about to fall asleep. All the time. All the time, okay? And you need to figure out what's wrong and get it sorted. Otherwise, how is anybody supposed to watch your performance? I don't know if that looks like that to everybody else, but to me, she is 90% of the time on the brink of falling asleep. And sorry, but then that makes me want to fall asleep too. I have very strong mirror neurons. Okay, if somebody's doing something like they sneeze, I sneeze. And if an actor is like dozing off, I'm gonna doze off with you. I'm just so obliging. What can I say? I can't watch her performance in this drama. Like, and she's trying very hard, but often it's not working. Right? All the supporting roles looks like doing better job than she does, and also, I think the drama maker, they are so aware of she being the lead that her character becomes self-conscious in front of a camera of being the center of narrative, therefore she can do anything. And then later, if you want to talk about what happens in the drama, the plot-wise thing about so-called the girl having power, but still it's all actually up to the guy to do the job, and then she would actually, like, what she does is trying to make him powerful so that he can do what she wants him to do. And I'm like, you are in the fictional setting where women can be officials too. Why don't you do it yourself? Why do you have to rely on the guy? Yeah, he's cool, but then like, do it yourself. Then you already have an official position with the empress or emperor, right? So it gets like, but so that kill my sins is like okay, sorry, I can't watch it. Even Zheng Yecheng, like Zheng Yecheng is nice to look at, but he's not the main character in drama anyway. So I didn't finish that one. Then we come to the Feb dramas. I know the February and March dramas. I haven't watched Sijing yet. I kind of like looked at a couple of clips and I don't think I want to watch it. Sorry. Jingtian looks a bit weird. I think she did something to her face that hasn't completely been absorbed by biologically hasn't been metabolized to the point where it does not look weird. Sorry, Jingtian, compared to, for example, her drama with Zhang Linghe or the one with Feng Shaofeng, she looks a bit odd. Like her face is just odd in this drama. So her expression is weird sometimes. And then Zhang Wanyi, I think he should quit idol. He should quit idol period drama. Period. Okay. Deng Wei. I don't feel Deng Wei can sell a BG to me. Same way that Gong Jun doesn't sell a BG to me. And read my expression, why? Okay. Certain things are too obvious to my eyes, where the harder they try, the less convincing it becomes. And it's very obvious to me. Therefore, them being in BG is very hard sell. Like, it does not work on me, okay? And then it is what it is. Deng Wei and Gong Jun, particularly these two, they can't BG me, okay? Because of what I see with my eyes is so contradicting to what they're trying to sell. Isn't it obvious? Like, certain things are just so obvious. I don't know why people can't tell it, but it's like so obvious. Anyway, we're not gonna go into that zone, okay? I'm not authority on this, okay? And I'll never go up to them and ask them to prove it to me. But I know, and I can't get into their BG, because it's just too. It's like I'm seeing black, and you're telling me it's white. I'm like, no, my brain is not gonna let me believe what you're saying. And then so. No, I have no proof, and people are gonna give me trouble for it, but I see what I see, okay? I talk to my girlfriends in private, in real life. I'm like, how did he sell that to the fangirls? Couldn't they see that? Like, it's just like in their face, screaming. But then people don't. But and so it doesn't sell to me. That's the problem. I can't get into certain people. It's like, but what they're doing is just so not them. Okay, and that every inch of their face is screaming where I'm not this, but then I'm getting a paycheck. So those are that drama, and then 四景. So I'm not watching because it's odd, and I think I've read other people talking about the plot. I'm like, another reborn story. It's just like nothing new, and I'm not really interested in it. It has no element of like Blossom 九重子's level of how you effectively tell a reborn story. So I'm probably gonna say pass. And Zhang Wanyi's line delivery, and also like he looks again like that. Like he copy paste his own look in every freaking period idol drama he's in. I can't even tell like what's the difference between all the roles he's done. And besides his way of acting, flaring his nostrils and looking stern, and then having that really bad Mandarin thing. Idol dramas is supposed to create illusion and romantic bubbles. Okay, it's not trying to make you. 四景 is that. So then we have Nanhong happening, First Frost on Youku. And then we have after that Filter, and then the best thing going on pretty much same time from all three platforms. So we have a Youku 现偶 contemporary idol. We have a 爱奇艺 现偶 contemporary idol romantic. We have a Tencent contemporary idol romantic. You can roughly categorize all three of them in the same category. One would be a slightly different. Filter has this fantasy element in it. The other two don't. And pretty much ongoing at the same time. I like Filter. I like The Best Thing. I completely cannot understand anything about the First Frost. If I rent, I can rent an hour. That's what overall opinion on these three dramas are from me. If you've been on my channel for long enough, I think you can predict them pretty easily if you've watched all three. Which I think most of people showing up on my stream are people who have been around for a while, okay? So you know how I watch dramas and what I think about them. So it's easy to predict. I'm gonna not like the First Frost, and I'm gonna be okay with The Best Thing. And Filter is interesting, but not in the CP shipping way, but in its plot way. So let's start with the thing I have problems with. How about that? The First Frost. Sister drama of Hidden Love. That should be alarm already. Because I have huge problem of Hidden Love. And I know it's popular. I don't care. Okay, I know there are people who like it probably on my live chat. Sorry about that. But that drama to me, very questionable. Extremely questionable. And I miss the old Chen Zheyuan. Back in the days where he's not self-conscious. And also miss the old days Zhao Lusi. You know like what happened to her right at the end of last year and leading up to this year? Oh my god. These two are destroyed by traffic culture. The whole get popular first, and that's the only thing that matters. And they're still trying to be actors and actresses, but still. These two are actually, I'd say, having potential naturally. Having that spark, a little bit of like the affinity to camera. And having potential, but now both of them are completely destroyed by the whole 流量 game. I'm talking about Chen Zheyuan and Zhao Lusi. So Hidden Love was, for me. First Frost no longer has that problematic element of underage stuff, but then, why did they shoot it in Chongqing? 我的家乡, my hometown, 脏了, okay? Is literally dirtied by the fact that they shot this drama. The fact that she gets sexually harassed constantly in this drama, in all kinds of ways. And it's shot in Chongqing. I'm telling you, it's never gonna happen, okay? In Chongqing, for real. If you're on the street, walking, and this guy just comes up to you and just completely naked in front of your face, first is that hasn't happened probably in the city for ages. And second is, if that happens, within seconds, this person is gonna be so beaten up by everybody walking around on the street, he's not gonna recognize his own face in the mirror. And immediately he's gonna get incarcerated by the police, and probably he wouldn't even exist in the first place as a homeless person roaming around, because this is not how China works. If they find a homeless person roaming on the street, local police, 街道办, the people who work in the community, will immediately discover and then come up to you and say, what's wrong with you? Do you need food? Do you need catering? What happened to you? Where's your family? We're gonna contact them for you. If you actually are in trouble, they literally grab you, feed you, find a place for you, and then educate you, like put you in somewhere to learn a skill so that you can earn money from it, so that you don't have to be homeless. Like, that's how it works in China. So that like, starting in the drama when she rented that room in that apartment that's right by the light rail, like I actually wanted to go to the light rail station and film that, because I know exactly where that is, and that place is rented out to crews to film stuff. It's not occupied by real humans because it's impossible to live there. It's literally having that thing running across, like right outside of your window. So that whole apartment, old apartment, is it's right on Liziba station there, where the train goes through the building. It's famous for Chongqing now. So you go that direction, you go to that station, you take one stop, and between this stop and that stop, you come out of the station, wait for like a couple of seconds, you literally just, your light rail go past the window of that apartment, and that apartment is now just like for filming everything. And the fact that that kind of thing cannot get rented out is first thing. Second, that type of rental is like 5 different groups of people live in this one apartment. A single lady, a married couple, like a couple of old guys. Does not exist, okay, in China like that, in Chongqing. Like I look at that and just go, what? Even the poorest worker in the city is not gonna live in that kind of condition. It just does not apply. The drama is shot and pretty much like done by the director from Taiwan. Apart from, I think this person has no idea about how things work in mainland. There's probably the intention of, okay, making mainland look bad. I don't know, because it does not make sense, everything. Like the rent price. The fact that she works at a proper job and she needs to live in that place is like not making sense. She doesn't have huge debt, so why would she have to live in that? And then she immediately gets like a new apartment with her colleague and friends, and then the friend conveniently disappears and has problems so that the guy can come in and rent the room with her together so she can sleepwalk into his bed. Like, that's why they designed the plot, which is absolutely stupid. But the fact that that apartment, like in the drama, it says it costs 7,000 per month. I'm loco. You're saying that apartment costs 7,000 in Chongqing. It does not exist, okay? If you have a 3-room, 1 dining room, like a 3-room big apartment with 2 toilets, you may be like in the good place. You may rent it out for like 3,000, 3,500, and that's already hitting the limit. And like, people may still question about whether it's too expensive, because renting somehow in Chongqing is just really, really cheap. And I don't know why, but that's how it works. I've got friends who have like 140 square meter apartment that she cannot rent out for 2,000 even, and she's like listing it for a year and nobody took it, and it's in a good place. So the fact that that thing costs 7,000 and then she couldn't afford the proper place, so that she has to live in that place where she gets like sexually harassed like 3 times in the first 2 episodes because she lived there, is like, I can't accept that, okay? I look at that, I'm like, I hate this drama, I hate the director, I hate the fact they shot it in Chongqing. It's stupid. Freaking stupid! stupid. Okay? So you ask me to forgive that drama? No way. The only pretty thing in the drama is Chongqing's cityscape. But it's sad that they just make up stories about it. It does not make sense. Do you know like how... Like she's running away and the 3 guys were chasing her when she got back to her apartment, which does not make sense anyway, because she already got sexually harassed and she still goes back to it like middle of the night for nah. And she has a cat. Like the cat comes out. She lives in one room and she has a cat as a pet. Like, that means she's a bad person because she doesn't want the cat to have a good life. Okay. Anyway, she goes back to there and the 3 guys were waiting there for her and chasing her down. And she's running on the street. And these 3 guys just like very confidently thinking they're gonna get her. And again, not gonna happen in current Chinese society. With all the cameras that's everywhere. You go on a public place, you're gonna get caught on camera from 3 angles, 24/7, okay? And if 3 adult men are stupid enough to chase a girl like that, they're asking for prison, okay? Because they're gonna be hard evidence of them and caught on camera, real time, all angles covered. Yeah. Even the cars parked on the street, they have cameras. So it's just gonna be so easy for you to get any video. You know, like petty crimes, pickpocketing, even like gold shops, because China have a lot of gold shops. Like they just have gold on display and they just, at night, they close it down and then there's like barely any security, seemingly. Right, like guarding it. Why? Because there's so many cameras. If anybody dare just like steal anything, like in 10 seconds, I don't know, half an hour later, policemen are gonna come up to you and say, we know exactly who you are. When you took that thing, take it out. That's how it works in China now. Therefore, like this type of thing just does not happen. Not because people are morally just like perfect, because it's too much of a price to pay to do any crime like that. Because either you're gonna get caught like in half an hour. So that just cancels out any intention of even ever trying. Therefore, like the thing that she does when she runs away and the 3 guys are chasing her, I'm like, oh my god, that just does not happen in China. But then apart from that, like the fact that they wrote her, the lead character, the Zhang Ruonan's character, as this Shengmu. She's stupid. She almost has no ability to fend herself. She's a journalist, but then she has no wit. She's completely incapacitated artificially by the story writer so that she can get saved by the guy. And the guy is like a gaslighting master who talks to her constantly as if he has a problem with her. He talks down to her constantly. He's like, Zhang Ruonan all the time in the drama. I'm like, what? You're supposed to make like that look romantic to me? What's wrong with the story writer? Why would they create a guy that's supposed to be like your dream romantic whatever projection guy he talks to the girl like she doesn't deserve to breathe in front of him. And the fact that he likes her is her greatest fortune. And not to mention the whole of they live in the same apartment and she sleepwalks. I'm like, oh my god. Blood pressure. Now just switch gender. If you live with another person who is an opposite gender, like you're a woman, he's a guy, you live in the same apartment, he sleepwalks, walks into your room, sleeps on your bed, tell me that's not a horror story. Immediately it's a horror story, but because it's her walking into his bed, therefore it's romantic. Oh, wow, feminism in 2025. See, like I get so excited. And if I want to keep renting, like everything about the drama First Frost is rent worthy, but I'm not gonna keep doing it because it's not worth my time. And if people think that's actually romantic, I think you have a problem. You need to see a doctor. And it's very bad for this type of drama to, I think that like most of the audiences will be very young girls, right? Because guys don't watch this type of drama, and older women like me, like, what the heck is this? I think it appeals to younger, very young audiences, and it's just really bad messaging. Like just look at the female lead, right? She's completely useless at anything. And as long as they're like, this guy is like interested in her, therefore that's her salvation. I'm like, what are you trying to do? It's 2020. It's like, if any girl happens to like think that's the ideal female form, like that's a problem, okay? And then like when she gets into trouble, she like there's that scene like when she gets like almost raped and she ran away, and then she literally was in the police station comforting the guy's wife and child and saying it's not your fault.救命啊! You know? So if this type of drama gets made, then somehow some very young and impressionable kid watches it and thinks this is good and this is a good female virtue. I mean, that's a problem. Like, I would have a huge problem with that. And I would want this type of drama to get taken down. It is so bad. Okay? You cannot control who gets access to this type of story. I mean, like, to me, it's not gonna affect me, obviously. I'm only gonna rant about it, and most of the people watching this, I believe you're gonna have, this is just stupid story. We're not gonna take it seriously. And if in reality any guy treats me like that, I'm gonna kick him in the balls. Like, that's how it actually works in reality. But the fact is, you can't help, like, there might be an 8-year-old who just somehow like watches this and thinks this is, oh, cute. And there's a responsibility, okay, of people putting this type of stuff out. And that's why cultural content gets censored, because it could influence people in very slowly, not obviously, not even consciously being aware by themselves way, but it works. That's why like USAID existed for that many years and did that much work on media. You know, so I just find this type of thing should not exist, honestly speaking. I find it's an embarrassment. Yeah, and it was shot in Chongqing. So that's unforgivable. It's unforgivable, okay? And then the funny thing is, really funny, I have to show you a picture. When the drama was airing, they have to promote it in Chongqing because it was shot in Chongqing. So Chongqing has a couple of really pretty buildings that lights up really nicely, and you can digitally sort of like manipulate and control its facade, where it gives you the light show stuff, and you can type words out on it, and that's what people do. Can't find it yet, but anyway, so their character name is Wen Yifan and Sang Yan. So the two buildings, one building says Wen Yifan, one is on Sang Yan, and it's on the river. It's huge, and it's like their name during the airing of the drama. And when the two names show up at the same time, because one is Wen, and one is Sang, so Wen and Sang happens at the same time. And if you read it, right, it's very easy to just read the first two characters as Wen Sang. Wen Sang in Chongqing dialect. It's swearing words. It is basically, if you are a Wen Sang, you are like, first, a misfortune. So wherever you go, you make other people unlucky. It's like Wen Shen. And second, there's a level of you being disliked, stupid, and then unlucky. So the fact that if you just take a glance and you see Wensang two character, you're gonna laugh because you immediately like in your head you read it out and you start laughing as Chongqing local because 那个文桑 this is 骂人 okay, this is swearing words and I don't know, like they shot this in Chongqing but apparently they have no clue about actually Wensang is a bad term in Chongqing dialect and they are flashing the name hugely on the river in Chongqing to let Chongqing people see. Geniuses! Oh my god. So this drama Wensang you have no idea just how funny it sounds to my ears when I read like there's this picture just like people took the picture of Chongqing's those two buildings of those two names and they didn't even say anything like under it I think it was on Xiaohongshu it's like it happened in Chongqing and I start laughing so much. Maybe it's this is the way the universe is having fun with this drama. It's its own commentary. So first Frost and Bai Jingting, Zhang Ruonan's performance is so hollow. Like she's the most hollow actress I've seen in years. she's not wooden. Because if you're wooden, like if Angela Baby is pretty wooden, but then she can actually open her eyes to show she's startled at least, and Zhang Ruonan cannot even do that. She's permanently frozen with one expression, and she's doing that in every scene. She's almost innate. She's like she cannot react to anything. She's as stable as gold. She's as stable as gold. She has no emotion. She's hollow. She like nothing goes on. You can't read her. And she talks like this, and she's as if she's about to stop breathing. And then Bai Jingting's apart from I have shoulders, I have jawline. Apart from that, and then people. The other thing about him is his Mandarin is so bad. That's how he talks. Unforgivable. Like that Mandarin is unforgivable. Okay, he either should get dubbed or he should get sorted out or he should stop acting. In that Mandarin, it's offensive. There are a lot of offensive Mandarin people, okay? But then he's I don't know. It's just pathetic. So that's first Frost. And then for Filter and the Best Thing. Best Thing is the classic idol romantic that is just happening to real people in the real world and slightly romanticized and beautified with a lot of like petal flying and the light shining, bokeh in the background, slow motion, special lens picked for filming this kind of like almost sometimes tilt shifted or sometimes warped on the like the camera like around the person, right? Gets this distortion that's completely romanticizing everything. But overall, actually quite nicely paced, slowly but not unengagingly told, naturally and relaxedly acted, and actually Zhang Linghe probably spent quite a bit of time learning Chinese medicine because some of his moves is looking very, very practiced. Like it's not just picking a needle and just stabbing people randomly. He did learn it. You can tell like he got trained. And overall, it just flows really nicely. It's slow, super eventful, not highly dramatic, like people are dying, car crashes happening, cancer is coming every day. Not that level of over-the-top romantic drama. It's more like tiny little things in life. We walk in the park, having dinner, occasionally run into each other, suddenly have a really pretty romantic moment, or we like accidentally eyes connect and there's like a moment of time slowing down, and it's like that type of romantic drama that overall is very enjoyable. And then Zhang Linghe does look very, very good in comparison to everything I've seen him in. I think 现偶 contemporary idol drama is his comfort zone. He works a lot better with a normal guy's haircut and contemporary clothing than period drama. Wig doesn't work on him. Playing cool does not work on him. Being lovely, relaxed like a uni graduate or sports guy, like 体育生 vibe is more suitable. And if he's not pretending to be powerful and clever and having the biggest chip on his shoulder guy in period dramas, he actually is watchable. His performance is like a lot more natural and relaxing in this one than his period dramas. And then Xu Ruohan, she actually really works very well for romantic dramas. I think if you get her, you get her. If you get her, she's actually, I say both of them in this drama vibrates a level of suitable for sweet idol romantic drama sexual tension. like that sexual attraction thing, a hormonal appealing thing, really do exist on both of them, and then they work really well off each other. So for this type of drama, I know there are people who don't get her, but I do get her, and I think she's attractive. Okay, and he in this drama is a lot more attractive than he is in period drama. So, and also like everything regarding Chinese medicine actually is done very properly in this drama. So I don't have any significant complaint about it. I enjoyed it, and it's very soothing. It's not something that I would say I eagerly want to find out what happens next, but every time I turn it on, it's like, it's just relaxing with a cup of tea, and I can like zone out a little bit but still enjoying it. And pretty people keep coming up, like in very close-up shots with like a soft background but looking really pretty. The color is graded nicely. The skin is not over smooth, but to a level that creates that acceptable level of romanticized glow. In a way similar, I'd say, to last year's Queen of Tears, that it idolizes and romanticizes the looks of the people to a level where it's not looking fake, but it's more prettier than reality. So it's like in that comfortable creating dream idol drama zone that does not completely detach from reality, but it is a level of idealization. But then it's kind of like, if it happens to these two pretty people, it kind of like really makes sense. So it's a very well executed, very typical type of idol romantic drama that's been done with quite a lot of care. And I think there is a level of ease. I think the people who are doing this project, doing this thing, they know exactly what they want. And there's quite a bit of, they're not trying too hard, basically. They have like this control over the whole thing, and it comes across as this just about right thing in everything. So I enjoyed it, but I don't think it's gonna be like, say, long time, highly impressive, always gonna remember romantic drama for me. But I would enjoy every minute of watching it, and I appreciate certain very pretty little things it does. Like certain shots like are very pretty. I remember that whole sort of like skateboarding thing into the girls, like he jumps off and there's this tulip, right? That shot is just really pretty. Certain moments in this drama are highly designed, romanticized, but not stupid. Like it's not like two people fall, and then it's like like the camera goes around them in this stupid fashion. It is just so intentionally set up, but then tastefully executed. Or even like all this skinship, right? Like because Bamai is touching your pulse, and acupuncture is literally stabbing you, right, with needles. Or like there's like this episode where she slept on the bed in a weird way and her neck is completely frozen, so he has to do the what's the word in like chiropractic, what's the word for that? But basically it's that thing. And so he has to straighten her neck and also her shoulder. So actually it is standard way of doing it is holding the patient and then pull them right very suddenly so that it puts the your joints in the right position. And but because these two are in that stage, they are so the whole treatment thing also becomes this highly romanticized and heavy sexual tension thing, but it works. It's not awkward, it's not stupid, it's not in any way offensive. It's just like nice. So it makes you feel very auntie. Like I feel 在一起, that's me, right? Sitting on the side. It's like the aunt of their family. It's like, young people, it's time for you to reproduce. 在一起. So that's me watching the drama. I think. So I enjoyed it a lot. I don't think it's like, by any means groundbreaking, but I think now we found the right way to open Zhang Linghe and actually use him to his greatest advantage, which is he does look good in contemporary settings. He's tall, right? That's like a good thing for idol drama. Also, there's a good thing about him, which is he has very pretty eyes. And this drama actually knows very exactly how to make you realize that his eyes and eyebrows are the highlights of his face. Also, in reality, he is a very 学霸 person. Compared to everybody else in entertainment business, among the young actors, he would be one of those like handful of people who actually can do very high score in the college exam. And he's the proper STEM subject clever guy. And you can kind of see if he gets a role that's not completely detached from reality, like a period drama, but a contemporary one. And it is like based on something that he can relate to, whether it's learning a skill, having a level of knowledge of something, like a doctor, for example, where he can actually go and learn it. He can probably learn it pretty well because he's an overall very good learner. And that adds to the believability and groundedness of his character. Therefore, when he is treating the patients, treating the medicine, cooking, doing the acupuncture, you feel like he's a real person and you can kind of flow with the story. Whereas if he's in this, like the 宁安如梦 drama with Bai Lu and stuff, where he's completely detached and everything he does is like not related to what you can actually learn, and then he becomes like, he doesn't know what to do with his sleeves or his hair or his wig and his character, his face, like he loses compass and he becomes like this wooden thing because he does not know how to make the character feel real. But in a contemporary drama where it requires him to do a level of training and learning that is like within his, like he's a pretty clever guy, probably a lot cleverer than most of the actors out there. I'm just saying, right? If you can get a score of math test at college exam with like 180, which is like the full score of his exam is 200, and he gets 180, which is very high. That means overall this person's intelligence IQ is like very reliable to a tested level. So I think now with this drama, I think it kind of also shows people, but also shows him. It would benefit him a lot if in the future he start picking roles that are more like this. That's real, based in reality with skills that's learnable, he can acquire to add on the believability. And also like make it easy for him as an actor to actually picture what I should look like. Because he definitely has seen doctors in real life. He's seen Chinese doctors. He's seen people like working in real environment. It would be so much easier for him to even mentally picture him in this shot doing whatever his work as a doctor, instead of like a great conspirator the prime minister of an ancient country that does not exist. Like, how do you even make him like how do I even start thinking about how I should be acting? So, I think one good thing about Aini is it saved Zhang Linghe, because he's got quite a few flopped dramas in the role where he leaves the supporting role and moves into leading, but it's all period, like 宁安如梦, the one with Jin Tian, the one with Zhao Jingmai, right? They all happened like one after another after another. He plays similar characters. He's completely not really working for people. And it's like, if he couldn't prove his worth, he's gonna be like sidelined now from. Thankfully, Aini happened. And suddenly it was like, oh, okay. Actually, he works, but it needs to be this type of story, because like by no means he's a genius of acting. Therefore, if you want to use him to his greatest whatever potential and value, then you have to do it this way. I think this drama gives you at least that access and that understanding. Therefore, it's valuable to him. 爱奇艺 best thing is 爱奇艺. Princess Royal, yeah, probably is better than the other, but Princess Royal, I think that the problem with it is, as the story progresses, it no longer makes that much sense. The second male character just takes too much time, and it's just not really making sense for him to do that. And Zhao Jingmai's acting has a little bit of problem. Like, she doesn't convince you that much of a 40-year-old person who kind of relived in a young body. I mean, neither does Zhang Linghe convinces you that. So, I mean, anyway, that's just that. And then let's finally talk about filter. 滤镜 on Tencent, Li Landi and Tan Jiansi. The drama right now, I haven't watched all the episodes released today. I think I'm only in the first episode that got released. I need to watch the rest. It's very fun. This is the not normal idol drama, because it's not just people fall in love. It is fantastical. It has this one element. You can say that's the X factor. It's like Love from the Star, the guy being an alien is the X factor. And for this drama, the girl having this superpower, high-tech bangle that can shift her form is the X factor. And they use it as a plot device to basically do all the scenarios that cannot really happen in reality, to create comedy, to create conflict, to create dramatic tension, to bring out characters, to talk about, as the name suggests, filter. The idea of, first is your perception about people, and it's whether it's real or not, and how people hold filters on other people that are unreal. Whether it's over, whether it's in a positive way, is like halo effect and making them look better than they actually are, or in the opposite, thinking of them as a bad person, but actually they never did something wrong. It's just like you are actually having the wrong filter on them. So it's talking about that on one level. And then on another level, it does talk a lot about women and perception of beauty and the value of outward appearance, right? Because it does go, because they work in a makeup company, and the fact that the girl can change her form and how she uses it over time is like getting into the zone of talking about acceptance of yourself, but also is what is the value of beauty, right? How you even define it, what is important, and all those things gets discussed. So it uses this as a very clever device to create a lot of interesting plot, but at the same time giving a possibility of discussing probably more in-depth things about human condition than just a normal love romantic story. So therefore this drama is different from the other two. It has this element, it has this possibility with its design to discuss better, deeper, bigger themes. And so I think that makes this drama different from the other two. I still maintain what I said in my weekly video, which is still, I don't quite in any way hormonally ship the two. Like I would say, feeling the just pure sexual attraction going on between, say, Zhang Linghe and Xu Ruohan's character in The Best Thing. So it's not that type of idol drama. But then it's interesting because the drama itself, because of what Filter does, the girl's power does, it kind of like literally bypasses the layer of just physical attraction between people, because the guy never actually fell in love with her appearance. He always fell in love with who she is as a person, but he is not aware that all the people he actually fell in love with are the same person, because they all show up as different appearance person. So in the way that the fact that you don't feel a very strong just physical attraction thing going on between these two actually makes sense for the story. And I think the two characters, they fall in love with each other not because of like you're like, you know, like perfect match physically with me, but more like I like you as who you are. So the whole sort of I fall in love with the personality, the soul, that is Filter's theme. So in a way it actually works in their favor, that they are not apparently two people stand there is like, oh my god, have sex, you look perfect for that, right? Like they because in reality they're more like colleagues, like, or a guy who's older than the girl, and then he's like even in work environment you can see that Li Landi is younger, right? So she's like treating Tan Jianci more like 前辈, right? The Korean thing, which is not that much in Chinese culture, but like in reality it's not that pure sexual attraction thing between them. But in a way I think it's perfect for this drama's theme and story and how it works. Thank you for the super chat. The King's Woman, would you recommend me to watch? Which is The King's Woman? There's so many Chinese dramas with similar titles. Let me know what's the Chinese name or who is in it, Lisa, because I have no idea what the Chinese name of that drama is. Chinese dramas English name are often just randomly plopped there. Is it old? Is it young? Is it recent? Who is the lead? If you let me know, I probably can tell. Many years ago, isn't it? With Zhang Bingbing. I don't think it's a very good drama, honestly speaking. I have a very vague impression of what it is like, and it's based on so-called history, but it's not real. And also like there's a going thing in Chinese. I don't know, like maybe folk believe is if you ever wanna tamper with the historical figure, a couple of historical figure, you have to be very careful. One of them is Qin Shi Huang, which is the first emperor of China. Qin Shi Huang, right? Qin dynasty's first emperor, because I believe that's the drama where he falls in love with the girl who is like from an enemy country. That's not real in history, right? It does not happen like that. But you know, it's like if you play Qin Shi Huang in the drama and you don't do him justice, it's not gonna karma back to you very nicely. And if you intentionally try to make it look bad, it's gonna be backfiring you epically badly, and that has happened already a few times. So there's this little weird belief in Chinese culture that you shouldn't be doing that. I don't think overall it's a very good drama. If you want to watch Dili Reba's drama, contemporary one, I'd still say the one she did with Yang Yang probably is one of the better ones in recent years. Period Dili Reba drama in recent years, not really any good one. If you have to find one, it's the older one where she plays supporting roles. Honestly speaking. And if you want, I mean her drama with Chen Xinxu is coming out soon. The one with Wei Yu's novel, it's in the same world as 西出玉门, West out of Yumen, or Rattan, where it has fantastic element, but it's contemporary drama. And maybe put a little bit hope in that one, just because the director is really good one, and then let's hope the story works out. But before it actually shows up, it's hard to say. Yeah, Didi Roba Zhang Bingbing, I don't think that's a very good one. It's too old, I can't quite remember, but I remember she's like the daughter of an old guy who's from an enemy country who eventually ended up in his harem, right? And she's trying to assassinate him, something like that. Is it correct? Something like that. But if you want to watch one that's like contemporary and is overall watchable in recent years, it will be the one she has with Yang Yang. And Zhang Bingbing Rattan actually is not bad. And interestingly, Didi Roba is gonna end up in another Didi Roba's coming up drama done by the same author as Rattan's author. So life is weird in the circle. Zhang Bingbing, any recent good ones? I mean, the 千朵桃花 is actually not bad. Like early this year, the Blossom whatever, like from Youku fantasy idol drama where he leads it with Sun Zhenyi, and that's actually not a bad story. Overall, it's actually fully comes back in the circle, reasonably written. I just didn't buy into. I'm not interested in either him or the leading lady. I just find their performances like, maybe the second lead couple is even more interesting, or a couple of supporting roles. But overall, I think it's just slightly archaic, too old-fashioned a period idol drama. It's slightly behind its time in design and everything. Therefore, I am not so interested in it. But it's not a bad one. So that Youku 40 episodes earlier this year, January drama where he leads it with Sun Zhenyi. If you want to check that one out, probably can be watched as well. 千朵桃花一世开. Some blossoming love, something like that. I think English title. Yeah, we were talking about. Thank you for your super chat and your question. So we were talking about Filter. And if you haven't watched Filter, the thing I will tell you that will convince you to watch it is the most wacky drama I've seen in Chinese drama land for a long time. Maybe not ever, but like pretty much over the last 7-8 years I had this channel. This is the weirdest one. It is so weird that just for the sake of let me check out, 让我看看, you know, it's like, oh, it's so weird, let me see it again. You know, just for that value, you should go and check out this drama. It's so weird. Okay, it's so weird. Just get the first episode, because the first episode is setting up all the characters and weird things haven't happened yet, only at the very end. Once you go into second episode, it starts to go wacko. Okay? It's like the wackiest, craziest drama, and because of its setting, it can create so much dramatic conflict and comedy. Like the comedy of it is coming from completely unexpected places. That's how I would say it. And, and if you want ship, or if you want like the full service of all types of possible CP in one drama, you're gonna watch this one because it has BG. It has like almost weirdly BL. It has a human and animal, and it has just everything in the oddest way. Okay, and because she turns into super sexy femme fatale, she turns into the highly educated, glass-wearing, typical PhD doctor woman who never like was in a relationship type of like typical thing. She turns into alpaca, like the fluffy animal, white, and you use its wool to make clothing that spit on people if it's not happy. She turns into broomstick. She turns into a acupuncture brass whatever, like a statue where you have like all the points that you learn from. She turns into a painting. She turns into two-dimensional 1980s Shanghai fine art whatever like film studio version of Sun Wukong. in 2 dimension, but in 3 dimensions. So she like literally turns into a drawn version of the 1980s Sun Wukong and talking to people. and she turns into a guy. She will later turn into Tan Jianci himself. So you'll see 2 Tan Jianci talking to himself in the room. One is a girl. One is him playing himself. One is him playing her playing him. Okay? So the fact that this drama has so many weird things is like worth watching, because you're not gonna find the second one that's in any way remotely like this. First is anytime soon. Next is probably not previously either. So it's like totally unique niche. Okay? And these 2 actors actually do a very good job of making it believable. Making the whole unbelievable situation and also the funny thing about this drama is, although it's so wacko, in its own setting, it makes total sense that this happens this way, and therefore people act this way. And actually, the girl is very clever. The guy is also very clever. So the girl, when she has this ability, whenever she's trying to get a suspicion of her, when people think something is wrong, and then she's trying to hide the fact that she's 2 persons at the same time, she would come up with excuses and ways of getting around it that's really clever. And then he would suspect it in ways that makes total sense, because he's a very observant doctor of like whatever chemistry, and so he just like noticed it. But then he has a scientific brain, so he always tries to explain it in a scientifically accepted way, and he deducts stuff from that, and that creates more comedy. So although it's wacky, it's actually completely logical and rational. So it's at the same time really funny to see everybody is trying to like outsmart each other with their brain thinking. But then the guy is just so... the fact that he falls in love with her different versions all the time, and then that impacts him because he doesn't know it's the same person, and he starts to question himself being garbage, right? It's like, I don't know that I'm so bad that I can fall in love with someone one day and then forget about them totally next day. I thought I'm a good guy. How could I be this bad, right? He questions himself. He gets constantly scared. He's faced with all kinds of unimaginable situations that causes his eyes to go, like even like losing his sight of color and stuff. And he's like tortured all the time. And you feel the actor brings it out really well, which is like when he's sad, he's genuinely sad because he thinks the person he loves is dead, but everybody else, like us watching, is at the same time moved by his performance, but cannot help laughing. It's like we are like 背德, we are so immoral. It's like at one on one side we're like, oh, we feel so bad for you. On the other hand, it's like, this is so good. Keep going. So this drama is weird in that way. Like it does so many things that other drama just cannot do because they don't have this setup. And they play it. I love the fact that they set this up and they play it to the full, to the most unimaginable situation, but really funny dilemma people fall into because of this filter thing, and it just keeps getting crazier. Yeah, the alpaca thing is so cool. I don't think she's ugly. I think the drama actually does it very convincing way of saying she actually just needs a little bit sort of like tweaking here and there, and she's gonna look glorious, but she's not aware of how to do it, and she dresses herself not in the most sort of a complimentary way, also because she's overshadowed by her super successful sister, so she kind of like lacks a bit confidence. The fact that she's not confident in herself makes her almost like diminish and people can't see her. But the fact is, once she has a different face that's traditionally regarded as attractive women, then she can suddenly just becomes, and the actress did such a good job, but she's not that much prettier, or even in a way prettier than Lilandi. They're totally different two types of pretty women, both pretty but in different ways. But I think the fact that she dresses for her body shape and height and the perfect makeup, and then she's confident and she has like a taller body, like that just brings it out, make her look like the big pretty girl, whereas Lilandi is the little pretty girl. And I think it's really interesting that how the drama make Lilandi, who actually she's a very pretty lady, but actually makes her convincing enough to be somebody that just because of how she presents herself, you probably were not gonna think of her as super pretty woman, right? So it does it really well in that sense. And obviously she has to be like pretty to an extent, because this is still idol drama, and she is very pretty. I mean, on the other, so just go and watch this drama to have fun. It's so fun. Like you're gonna, and then the type of comedy it provides is literally not found in other dramas, because they can't have it, but this drama can have a huge amount of it. And every actor who plays her, so when she turns into the first lady, the second lady, the guy, when the other actors playing her, they all do a very good job. They probably observe what Li Landi does in real life and how she talks and acts in this as this character, and they copy her, and it's so fun. And then if you're Lost True Forever fan, you should watch this, because you will see 赤水风冷and 相柳 in contemporary drama. And previous life, you stole my bride and killed me. This lifetime, I'm gonna give you hell. Okay, you're gonna see the actor Wang Hongyi, I think, playing 赤水风冷 in this drama is Li Landi. Li Landi created him out of a manga, and then Tan Jiansi cannot stop like feeling attracted to the guy, because he is actually her, but he doesn't know, and so he gets like really weirded out by the fact that it happened like that. And it's funny, like when you think about in the period drama, they were 情敌, and now they are in an odd relationship. Miniseries. I haven't watched many miniseries recently. Is anybody? If a more recent one probably is 纸笔. It's done by the same actress who did Provoke. That's a more successful recent one last year, called 纸笔. Literally means holding the pen. I can't remember the English title, but basically she sees she is a character in the story, and she tries to rewrite her story. That's a miniseries too. Fortune Writer. Oh, okay. That's it. Yeah. That's a pretty good one compared to other ones, I think. I haven't watched that many super short ones. So, Me and My Family, I watched a little bit. I know like later it gets better, funnier, but early kind of a couple of episodes is so hard. It's like so blood pressure, again, triggering. It's good. She's actually acting very good, Zhou Yutong. I mean, she, to some extent, I think when she gets the right role, she can do a very good job. And I mean, yeah, regardless of what she's like in real life, who cares? Honestly, if you look at drama, it works. So Me and My Family, I watched a couple of episodes at the beginning. I think it's really well done. I think later it gets better, but I need to get over the first couple of episodes, because it's just so hard to watch all the blood pressure triggering elements of her life and her mother, and it's a very good drama, but it's hard to watch in the first couple of episodes. So Filter, if you haven't watched, really highly recommend. One last thing I think about that drama, I think really this is good for Tan Jiansi, is he should not take a romantic BG drama role where he just plays an average, normal, lovely guy like he did with Zhou Ye. It's a sweet drama, but it doesn't sell, and because that character is so good and so normal, he's a voice actor, he's a singer, he's like the best guy, and everything he does is just being romantic with the girl, like the best thing. In a way, like it's like a best thing. But because Tan Jiansi, as good as he is in acting for certain type of roles, as good as his voice is and line delivery, and as good as overall he is as a performer, whether it's in singing or dancing, if it's only a normal, sweet, cotton candy, BG romantic drama, it's not his comfort zone. I have this conclusion about him, which is he either has to play a super sharp, edgy, cold, having a little bit dark and negative energy character, or his character has to have this like filter, something that's unusual. It's not just being a nice guy. If he's being a nice guy, his attractiveness or his ability completely gets erased by that very, very mushy kind of character setup. He needs to have edges, or like whether it's his own personality or like this drama where it comes from outside, where it's a completely fantastical and unusual situation that puts person into this extreme tests of normal like romantic BG would not give you, right? Because he constantly gets into this zone of like questioning his own morality, runs into extreme situations in life, and having so many opportunities to show whether it's comedy or it's like over like all the crazy things he does in this drama. He needs some X factor, like those things that adds that energy into the story. If it's just a normal sweet like the best thing drama, he cannot really quite sell it, because Tan Jiance's actor, right, as good as he is, everything considered, there's one big problem about him, which is he's not the typical idol drama lead actor built. He often looks more like a sister to the lead actress than the boyfriend. And that's just how he looks. Not only tall, like some guys are not tall, but they exude that male, very strong young energy, where it contrasts with the lead actress's in energy. It still works. He has too delicate a face. Pretty. He's literally pretty. You would say he's a pretty boy, right? Not the masculinity level of him is just, with his height and his face, is just too weak in the traditional sense of being an idol drama lead actor. Not to mention that these days he's too skinny. Because there was a time when he was slightly bigger than now, right? Thank you for your super chat. Kusnova or Kusnova, how should I pronounce that? He's a very pretty boy. There's nothing wrong with that. And he's definitely straight. Okay, you can tell that. But I'm just saying, he vibrates this energy where any average guy comes close to his proximity, and that guy becomes the male dominant center, and he becomes the like when he pairs up with other actors, for example, like Jin Shijia, right, super tall, like these two guys together, like he's the girl in the relationship, and you can't help it. It's just the way it is. He looks too pretty. He's not big enough. When he's too skinny, he looks even smaller, and he can be skinnier than the actress, which, you know, like to some dangerous like level, it could become problematic. So for him to work in a BG, right, you either have to make him such a not nice guy character, therefore he has this dark edge that can cancel out the sweet and prettiness of his appearance, or you have to have this extra element where your attention is diverted to that part of the storytelling, not him being the pretty leading man, like Zhang Linghe, the doctor in The Best Thing. Right. I think this drama proves that he can work in BG idol, but it has to be a special BG idol. It cannot be an average, I'm the nice guy BG idol. It would not work. Oh. Somebody said he radiates. Oh, zero. He's actually not very zero. He's more like, do you mean Omega? Or I don't know, like, but anyway, and I think it worked in this drama because you kind of bypasses his appearance, because the story is asking you to actually bypass the look of people. That's the theme behind it. Therefore, you kind of bypass all that, and you kind of see the actual personality. But it's not gonna be like that in every BG drama. And if he ever wants to do more, he would have to look into this. And I think ever since he kind of got a little bit of fame after he returned to acting and then got under the skin, there is this level of, I think, whether it's himself or his team or whatever, like they plan his career, they did wanna tap into the traffic route. He's not trying to stay perfectly like Jin Shijia in the zone of just being an actor, and then when I'm not in a drama, don't talk to me and don't go look for me. I'm not gonna show up for anything. Like, I just disappear. Like, he's definitely not gonna go down that route. He has fandom. He has a very actively run fan service, whatever going on. So he's kind of like 脚踩两条船. He's standing on two boats. One is proper actor, one is traffic. And I think he's trying to get benefit from both, but it can be a very hard game to balance it, because one thing gets too big, it's gonna affect the other. And I think he's slightly sort of dangerous on the side of getting too much into the traffic zone, fandom zone, like ever since Lost You Forever, for example. That it definitely affects his, I don't know, it would actually even show up in his choices of roles and also his way of acting and dealing with characters. I do think he's a very well-rounded actor, having a lot of, say, tools in his box than most of the other actors these days with his similar boat. It would be a pity to see if he gets swallowed and gets eaten by the whole traffic actor game, fandom game particularly. I don't want that to happen. It would be a waste of his just like set of gifts. But if it happens, then, you know, it could. And I wouldn't want to see that. I do want him to take more interesting, diverse, complicated routes instead of like the thing that he did with Zhou Ye. Which is not wrong, but it's just so not like helping in any way. Sigma. Like, what's the difference between alpha, beta, omega? Like, what are the exact difference? Because sometimes I forget. What are worth to watch? I have no idea. Thank you for your super chat. What are worth to watch? Because I don't even know like which one is coming up very soon. For me this year, if I'm thinking, I have to look at somebody's list and then pick, because right now, just to off the top of my head, it's really hard to think about. We're gonna do another 20 minutes. Let's just do a 3 hour because we haven't done it for so long. 4 hour, 3 hour. Wait, we'll stop at 12:30, and I'll try to figure out how to do it on my proper computer, because right now I'm on the wrong computer, which is not ideal. And I hate the fact that things update and then they can't work anymore. So upcoming dramas. Oh, there's one like The King is Asleep, something like that. Coming up next week, 11th, which is Youku's Yu Shuxing and Lin Yi. A little bit worried about that drama because it got cut off like what, 13 episodes? 36 ended up being 23. Like, think about that. How it's gonna affect storytelling. I'm a little bit worried about that. And also, Yu Shuxing is okay, but Lin Yi, in my opinion, again, as an actor, he doesn't quite work in acting, to me. Because I've seen 2 contemporary dramas he's in, and neither was like really working at all. Yeah, so a little bit worried about that one, but it may show up. It's gonna show up very soon. And then March, we're gonna have, I think, a couple of bigger dramas will come up on all kinds of platforms. Can't remember exactly. This year, I have to look at other people's list, otherwise I can't remember. Ski into Love, yes. The Chinese name is The King is Asleep. So it's a different title, but yes. What do you think of Feng Shen Er? I didn't watch these 2. So I don't know. Like personally, because I haven't seen them in cinema, it's just not gonna work if I talk about them because I don't know what they're like. I do know Feng Sheng Art get a lot of people offended because of the terrible CG and the story that's like the guy just falls in love with the enemy general. Not surprised at all. But it's sad because the first one was actually good enough, but then unfortunately the second one didn't keep to the quality of the first one. It happens. You get a live example. In an ideal world, I would hope that it didn't happen that way. I would want the second one to be actually good, but if but this is what happened, right? And that's why I say Chinese cinema is by no means saved by Ne Zha 2. It's far from that. Far from that. Anything coming up? I think it's likely the Sun Li Luo Jing drama is showing up. The crime drama, very short. 乌云之上, I think it's gonna show up soon. Also, later, like second quarter, maybe you will see the 白敬亭张鲁一 Gao Ye drama, Justifiable Defense. I think that one is also lined up. But then it's all not confirmed, so we're still waiting for it to show up. Alpha is first, beta is second, omega is last, and yeah. So sigma, what is sigma? Interesting and strong personality who attract attention, but at the same time they don't mind stepping into the background from time to time. Okay. Oh, okay. Bai Lu, you mean? Northward? I am yet to. I clicked into one episode. I know like earlier it's like young actors and then it switches to them. The Northward. I clicked into one of those later episodes where they are high schooler. There's also Zhai Zilu. If I am honest, I probably wouldn't watch this one because neither Oh Hao nor Bai Lu look in any way appealing to me. I am getting old and superficial. The first thing I want is looking at pretty faces. Sorry. And for that drama, they are very far away from pretty faces. And you know, like I look at filter and I look at best thing and then I click into Northward and I immediately jump out and you see the reason why. Sorry, I'm so shallow, but I'm like, to a level of acceptance of pretty faces is still required. And in the drama, they just look so... Sorry, I'm so shallow. So the problem with Northward might be the fact that I can't deal with people looking just a little bit too not pretty, okay? Sorry, too not pretty. You know, I wake up, I look like shit. And I still have to dress up and put up a bit makeup, a bit lighting, a bit hair, and just sit in front of the camera because, you know, like, I don't think it's fair for people to look at me looking like that. So, yeah, that drama, the problem, literally, sorry, is 丑剧, okay? I got 丑剧 by that drama. Shallow me. Tell me. I don't know what Shaolin women's soccer is. I have no idea. Mounties 1095. Yeah. Oh, how is somebody I don't I don't know like what's his background. Maybe he got into in this industry because of nepotism. Because even if you just look at nepotism babies, right, there are some that are actually pretty. And oh, how is that? Sorry. That never worked on me. Okay, it's. Oh, during the Chinese New Year, I also watched the Detective Chinatown 1900. It's actually better than I expected, but it's still that there's a lot more it could do better. But then missed opportunity in a way, but it's not bad. If you're curious about the fourth installment of the series of Detective Chinatown, which happened this Chinese New Year, called Detective Chinatown 1900, it's better than the third one. Probably up to the quality of the second one, kind of. And it's actually not really a detective story, interestingly enough. It's not bad, but it could be better. I feel Zhang Xincheng is wasted in the film because he's a main supporting role. And he's arguably the best English speaker in the whole Chinese crew, and he barely gets an opportunity to speak English. Only a couple of lines in this film, which is just such a waste of his talent, because he can do very good English, and his English is like 10 times better than Liu Haoran. And Liu Haoran has so much English lines in the movie that is completely butchered. His English did not improve one bit over the last how many years? 7, 8 years since he started his career. Which makes me completely just disappointed in him. So basically in the last 7 years, his guaji, he's on rest. He didn't do any work. Imagine if you have 7 years, it's gonna be like so easy for you to improve on so many things. And his English is just still so bad, and he's supposed to be like a Chinese person who lived abroad like for ages. He's supposed to be like as good as whatever English speaker native. And oh my god, Detective Chinatown, Liu Haoran's English was a pain to hear. Zhang Xincheng was a lot better, but he didn't even get a full sentence. It's like a couple of words here, a couple of words there. I'm like, ah. Makes me very angry. Mango drama, I haven't watched it. I heard it's meh, not so good. I have a high standard for medical drama, so I'm yet to jump in. Winner is a King expected to premiere March BL. Danmei. Winner is King. What's the Chinese title? I've heard about this English title, Winner is King, but I can't remember the Chinese title. Anyway, the Justice Dark Abyss whatever is gonna air in Japan. And they're gonna do it so slowly, it's not gonna finish until June. And I honestly actually am not looking forward to it. Shapolang. Shapolang, I don't think so. I haven't heard anything on this one. Zhang Xincheng, Fu Xinbo, that drama, right, it's gonna show up in Japan. I honestly don't think it's a good thing for them. For reasons being, Zhang Xincheng's drama, I've watched the first 8 episodes. I don't think it's the perfect like role for him, or he is a very straight guy who doesn't understand what BL means. Unlike Bai Yu and Zhu Yilong, who knows what BL means. Like, there's a difference. If the actor is aware of what people ship about this type of relationship, it makes a lot more sense for them to do the right acting. But Zhang Xincheng and Fu Xinbo are, at least based on the first 8 episodes I've watched of the drama, they don't quite know what people are looking for. That's a problem. So if it airs now, I don't think it's gonna be any better than what we've seen. And also, honestly, for Zhang Xincheng as an actor now, after so many years, it would make a lot more sense for him to not jump back to BL for his career. Honestly speaking, to not jump back to BL now. If that is the original script story of 2 male leads that does not exist, having a previous BL novel, and he does it, probably is okay. But because everybody knows it's a priest novel, it's it's a BL, and then it got like taken down. It does not do good to an actor now. With the current atmosphere ongoing in Dramaland, and then what gets promoted or what gets encouraged and what does not. It's odd that it airs in Japan, and I don't think it's gonna do him much good. It feels sad, but yeah, whatever. 杀破狼, I don't worry about 谭健次. I worry about Chen Zheyuan. If Chen Zheyuan tries too hard, it's bad. And he wasn't as he was. He isn't as he was back in the early days. He really became too self-conscious about being traffic and idol and good looking, and like, you see the white olive tree, like how he acts, it worries me. He's lost. He's bad. Anyway, his current acting is very, very bad. And if 烽火流金 was in any way close to his current acting, instead of close to his previous acting, that would be bad too. Yeah, I mean, the 丁禹兮张新成 drama probably will work better because it's not based on an existing BL, and you interpret that however you want, instead of actually a clear BL, which will always be problematic, right? Actually, Zhang Xincheng's role and his performance in Detective Chinatown is very good. It's better than pretty much... It's better than Liu Haoran. Liu Haoran is... I'm very disappointed in him anyway. Zhang Xincheng actually did a better job, but he's not the main character, and his role is necessary for the plot, but didn't have enough space to breathe, and I really want a couple of extra scenes on his character, on his background story, on his love story, because his love story is what this story is triggered about. This whole case is because of his romantic story. It's very sad that that story happened only in slow motion. Not even one line was spoken between him and the girl. It all happened like an ad of the mineral water famous in China called 百岁山. If anybody has seen that brand of mineral water and its ad, it's exactly like that. Zhang Xincheng's love story in Detective Chinatown is completely in slow motion. It's such a wasted setup because there's only one good scene he had with John Cusack, and it barely happened. It's like 2 lines and it ends. I'm like, just give me like 2 more minutes of these 2 guys acting, because it actually is working and it just gets cut. So Detective Chinatown, I like Zhang Xincheng in it, but I feel he's so not getting the time he needs in that story. If you've watched it in cinema, you probably know what I mean. If you haven't, when it goes on internet, streaming platform, go and watch it. You'll know what I mean. Anything else? It's almost 12:30. We've talked about a lot of things non-stop because there are so much piled up things I haven't dealt with. Yeah, Winnipeg. No leaf on the big trees, only like the spruce stuff, and sunny and cold. Yeah. Actually, it's not bad. The week that was coldest, I wasn't here. It was like -30. There was 1 week or 10 days in February that I was not here, and I was really happy because my friends were like, "It's so cold here." I'm like, "Yay, I'm not here." So pretty much, I think I've said everything I can think about right now ongoing. I will keep watching The Best Thing. I'll keep watching Filter. I will try to watch Me and My Family. 北上 probably I'm not gonna, because if the male lead of a drama doesn't work on me, I can't watch it. I am a straight woman. That's it. Okay? if only the female lead works, it's gonna be hard for me. Unless I really, really like her, which is very hard. It usually doesn't happen. So the guy has to work on me to an extent. Either I like his look, I like his acting, or whatever part of this person is appealing. It needs to be a hook to hook me in. And once the plot runs and it actually works, then I can ignore that. But I have to get an entry point where I can keep watching. And also, if the guy is too ugly and not to my liking, even if the plot is good, I can't watch it. I am that shallow. And I have lived to this age where I admit to that. And so, for good night, Casanova, I'm a super chat person. Good night. And now I'm gonna be very frank about that, which is for whether it's BL, BG, right? If the guy is not good looking enough, I can't watch it. I'd rather watch a good looking face, even when it's like a little bit ridiculous, like Benedict Cumberbatch. It was like such a like long face, longest face like possible on human, but he's still good looking. Fast forward watching it. Why? Why do you want to torture me with Sijing? Zhang Wanyi, huh? You know, I see Zhang Wanyi being serious, I just think of a buffalo. Because his nostril is like flaring all the time. He's like this. He's staring at me with his nostril, and I'm like, I don't want to look at that. Sorry. There's some people, like, they have features on their face that just look so odd to me, I can't keep watching. I'm curious, which is like 外貌协会董事长, okay? I can't help it. You know, like, it's well known. We're so superficial. Face value. If it's not pretty, it's not watchable. It's like if I buy something, right, and it doesn't match with the color of my room, or like this is too ugly, even it's cheap, but like I'm not gonna get it because it's ugly. Sorry, Zhang Wenyi's no. Zhang Wenyi doesn't work on me. Oh, how it doesn't work on me. Okay, these two guys, it's like they're in the drama I can't watch. Even Bai Jingting is not that bad. Like I can accept him. He's not my type. But then the female, and I can't do that. I can't deal with a male lead in the drama that actually the female lead has. What the heck? It's a romantic idol drama. What am I supposed to do? Getting gaslight? Literally voluntarily by a guy? No. Okay. So that one, Nan Hong is definitely not gonna be watched by me. And also, like, it's shot in Chongqing, so it's insulting. And when 国王在冬眠 Skiing Love shows, I probably will check it out for sure. And yeah, and those are the ongoing ones. I definitely have things I should watch I haven't watched, but this is as far as I can go and have enough time to do. Everything else? Anything else? No. This year, let's see what Chinese drama is gonna do. I still need a bit time to fully get back to my functioning self because I'm still jet lagged. I'm not backing 100%. So sometimes I'm like not really. My brain is not working properly. I wonder how many young people are on my channel, like younger than me or older than me. In the last 2 years, I discovered something really weird that changes with age, which is as I get older, I start to like gold more. Everybody tells you that's gonna happen, but you never take it seriously until it happens. I remember when I was in my 20s, I only like silvery kind of colored things, right? Like this type of things. And I find gold extremely tacky and ugly, and I hated it. Somehow, every friend of mine, high school, we're still in contact these days, same age person. In the last couple of years, everybody has started falling in love with gold. Pure 999 gold, 24K, 9999 gold. like the golden gold that looks so yellow and not elegant, not sophisticated. It's just like, I'm rich, see, I have gold on me, right? That type of like gold. But weirdly, I just find gold is so pretty. It's like when you touch it or hold it in your hand, it feels like it has a different level of energy than other metal. It's hard to explain what it feels like, but when you hold it, you feel very safe. It's like you have this safe energy, and you don't have that feeling with any other thing. Like only gold has that just like, it's hard to explain what it's like, but when you wear it, when you see it, when you hold it, it's like, wow, it's so pretty. I know Indians love gold. I think Indians and Chinese are the only two nations in the world where you have so many gold shops everywhere. In all the malls, like the first floor is a gold shop, and all types of gold jewelries that you don't find in other countries, that's made by 999 gold, because I think in other countries they like 14K, 18K, 10K, because pure gold is actually very yellow. The color is hard to, let's say, match with skin tone, and also it's so soft, it gets damaged easily. Therefore, people like to use alloy to add a little bit other metal to harden it so that it can work. So in, like, say, for example, in Canada, right, you just don't get those huge gold shops. You just have jewelry shops where usually you find like 14K, 18K, like maximum. But in China and India, it's like everybody is like gold. It's like pure gold, it's like yellow, gaudy, shining in your eyeballs gold. Security and goes with older skin tone. No, actually, I look better with silver still. Like, if you compare this color on me, it immediately lights up my arm. See how bright it looks? And if you have this, which is a more gold color, it does not work that at all. It does not lift the skin tone up at all. So I still look a lot better with silver. I know that. I know this is like slightly gold, so it wouldn't look as good as a silver thing. Although you can't see because it's too small. But oddly enough, still, I just want to hold a piece of gold. I just feel, oh, this is good. And I don't know why, but it's not just because it's worth any money, because like there are gemstones that are worth 10 times, 100 times more than gold. But I don't get that feeling. Like, I get gold and I have that feeling. It's weird. I don't know why, but all my friends are like, as they get older, they all like gold somehow. Indians are like, cool. That makes sense, because so many beautiful jewelries in India that are gold. And I think I think darker skin tone probably looks better with gold. Warmer and darker skin tone, when you have like gold, it looks really pretty. I think by definition, a slightly olive tone, so it can get odd. It's like sometimes not bright yellow gold looks okay. Like if it's 18K, 14K, it actually looks okay on my skin. But it's like bright yellow gold, it looks really darkens my skin. I have an odd olive, slightly towards olive cold color. It's weird. I don't know. I mean, silver is always pretty, but gold is like only in recent years, gold investment. Yeah, I mean, gold is worth money and it's like hard currency. It's never gonna run out of value just because it's rare metal and you can't create it. Like manually, it's only gonna be found in soil, earth, and then it does not exist everywhere in universe. It only shows up in certain planets. Certain planets are huge, but they don't have 1 ounce of gold, and it's to do with physics. So gold is universally valuable across the whole universe. I guess that's one reason. But I think maybe there's other reasons that I just don't see with my eyes, but I can feel it. I think there was this saying that ancient civilizations use gold for certain purposes that are lost to us. It's not just for decoration. It actually functions for certain very realistic functions that needs to get triggered and done by certain procedures that we just don't know anymore. I think pyramids, the top of pyramids used to be completely gold, just a tiny bit on the very top, and it's needed for conducting certain things, but then it got lost and you don't know anymore how you conduct, because gold is not conducting electricity per se, but it's conducting other form of energy that is probably beyond three-dimensional observation. But there's always this belief that spiritual practices sometimes needs gold to use as a conductor for certain purposes. I think that's known in most cultures, ancient cultures. It's just like not completely known now exactly what it is and how you do it. Jade is more of calming thing. Jade is stone. Jade is earth. Gold is metal, right? Gold is different. Gold is created by two neutron star colliding, I think, which is very rare in universe, and it doesn't happen all the time, and it's extreme energy you can recreate on Earth. Hi, people. Still people coming up. So I'm gonna obviously keep this on my channel and try to time code it later. I'll see if I can do it. And then 12:35 already. We should end this soon. Cosmetic. Yeah. I mean, yes, it's in cosmetic. It's even in food. If you want to eat it, it's not gonna do anything bad to you, but it's not gonna help either. But I do believe gold has other purposes than what we are currently aware of. It just feels different. It's so odd, but it feels different. Like if you hold a piece of heavy metal, like really heavy, it's not gold, it doesn't feel the same. When it's gold, it feels oddly just not like really attractive. Like something of it is powerful. It's powerful. It's not even the most precious metal on Earth. Like there are far more precious and rare metals, right? But gold is like it has the essence of stars, like energy. I don't know. Hard to say. Yeah, this doesn't look too bad, but if it's a silver, it will be a lot brighter. Like it will make my face look a lot brighter. I've done comparison. It's clearly that case. Even if you just have like two arms, one silver, one gold, it's like, oh, silver is instantly making you look like two shades brighter. It just lights your light your face up, really. Yeah, because jade has this less watery quality, right? It has this almost, it contains water. When you polish it, it's either like a fat, like the goat fat, or it looks like water, which metals don't have. And I think that is believed to have life, and they're like, jade is nice, but jade has a problem of a big piece of jade is very heavy. It's a stone. It's very heavy, and I can't wear things that are heavy on my neck. I have extremely sensitive, like even this thing, which is tiny. It's like a gram. I can sense it. Every inch from my skin can sense this 1 gram constantly. I have extremely sensitive neck. I can feel everything on it. So if it's anything heavier, I'm gonna die from just the thing holding whatever, like on my skin. I can't deal with it. It's extremely pronounced with my sensory, whatever, because I have like weird neck feelings of things. I don't know why, but I'm super oversensitive about that. Arms are okay, but neck is like really hard. Anything heavier, I probably need a collar, and then I wouldn't be able to wear it for a long time. Definitely not to sleep. Jade is too heavy. Also, jade is easily broken. The good thing about gold is you may like crush the design, but it doesn't get broken. You just melt it down and then you redesign it. it will never get broken. You can't destroy gold, but you can destroy jade. You just crack, and it's bad. It's dead. I have jade bangles. I sometimes wear them, but I have to be very careful because if I just accidentally dong and then money gone instantly, it becomes, because if gold gets broken, it's still the same value. You just need to reshape it. But jade gets broken, it's dead. It's like particularly bangle thing, right? The whole bangle, because it cuts out of a whole piece of jade, therefore it's really expensive. You break it, it's dead. Okay, I think we are at the end of this. Okay, just 5 more minutes. I'm gonna stop at sharp 12:45. Just get a whole number. I don't know. I'm weird in that way. And thank you again to everyone who's joined this live stream. And if you haven't like joined the live stream and you watch it later, I'll also say a thank you. I haven't been doing this for 4 months because of traveling, and I'll try to sort it out next time so that we can have a good computer doing this. Right now, it looks like a mess, and I'm surprised my old computer didn't die on me. Let's hope this year Chinese Dramaland is gonna be better. And the last one wasn't good. Last year was pretty bad. And yeah, I haven't fully indulged or let myself go into a CP for so long now. I really miss the good old days. 2018, 2019, 2021. I all had like really good ones. Yeah, it's been too long. It's so disencouraging. Yeah, 今晚刚在日本播. Isn't that aren't they doing it on the 7th? Because today is 6th. I thought it airs in Japan on the 7th, but does not matter. I know it's airing, and it's gonna be a couple of weeks before it catches up to the 8 episodes that we have seen already. Thank you, Priscilla. Yeah, I will get over it. I think I'm on the edge of getting over it. It just annoys me that I wake up at 3 a.m. and then I couldn't sleep for an hour or two. I wish that could stop. Word of honor. Yeah, word of honor. Word of honor. 曾经沧海难为水，除却巫山不是云. I think for the 2 lead actors, it was also their lucky strike. But it was like the last lucky strike too. It's so sad. Gong Jun. He shouldn't be in the acting business. That's after so many years. I think back, is that role is so lucky for him to get, and he just fits it so well that it worked. But generally speaking, he's not cut out for being cut out to be an actor. Honestly speaking, he lacks too many things in too many departments. It's too late at this age to just suddenly get an enlightenment in this, and he doesn't necessarily put in the work either. As for Zhang Zhehan, you know what happened? It's like, hey, yeah, the ship has sailed. You can't do anything about it. So sometimes I look back on Word of Honor and I look at my edits, and I just feel like I was lucky that year that I got this. I didn't miss it. But then certain things are meant to happen, like fireworks, just once and never again. What can you do? C'est la vie. Occasionally, I still look back on my edits and I feel I had such a good time back in 2021. I still have like postcards like I designed in my storage. There are hundreds of them, and I wouldn't be able to give that to anybody. Like, who wants it? But it's like just paper in my storage, and I don't sell them anymore too. So I'm like looking at the decks and decks of postcards. I'm like, yeah. Why life happens this way, huh? Yeah, Wang Dalu, weird thing, okay? That's very weird. Six Sister, my mother watched it. She likes it. I don't. That drama is weird to me. It doesn't actually make sense in like compared to 人世间, for example, right? Big family drama over a long time span, not even close in comparison. But my parents enjoyed it because it has a lot of drama. Obviously, the sisters, their marriage, their husband, their kids, like all that mess. But personally, I wasn't a huge fan of this type of drama, and I don't like the fact that in this drama, like, it's almost like everybody just have to get married, have to have kids, have to get married, have to have kids. And it's like, haha. 2025, can't watch that. Yeah, Wang Dalu, it was shocking. Oh, Helen, okay. If you like First Frost, that's cool. I'm not gonna keep watching. Have you watched? I watched a little bit of 于禁之上 Embers. Maybe I should get back to it because people tell me it's actually not bad. But the first episode put me off, so I didn't keep watching. I didn't like the part where they start to talk about like what is deduction, what is induction, what is like detective work. I'm like, that is stupid. Who thought about that? It's so embarrassing when they're on the bank of the river and talking about that. I just quit at that point. So not very long into the drama. I did hear later was better, so maybe I should. I'll remember that. I'll try to go back and check it. Okay, so I should end this. Otherwise, it's gonna keep going forever and ever and ever. You guys all have your own stuff to deal with in life. And if we have more things to talk about, we can do it in, I don't know, in the future on other things. And thank you for joining in. We'll leave that to the next time. And in terms of my old favorite dramas, I am so temperamental. Right now, I can't think of any. If I right now am forced to rewatch something, I would turn on Sherlock. Just right now, as of March 6th, 2025. Maybe tomorrow I'll have a different idea. But I'll say goodbye to you now and then take care. And I'll see you in my next video. Tomorrow I'll have to film the weekly video, so we're gonna see each other on Saturday, and then we'll see what happens for the next week or two, whatever I talk about. I have dramas to catch up. Like literally, I have like 4 episodes piled up today. Now I have to deal with. I love my life, and hope you're having a good time. I'll see you in my next video. Take care. Bye.